What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels, and I gotta have a conversation with you guys about Tiege Hanley because you see how the sun is hitting me. This is no finesse, no makeup, no filters, no none of that. This is 100% Tiege Hanley. I use it in the morning as soon as I get up, right after I pray and brush my teeth, jump in the shower, and I'm hitting the streets because you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So even though they're giving you 40% off your first order, 20% off for life, even though you may get a free gift, forget all that, right? Because we would do this even if it was full price because it's worth that much. I'm in the streets, I'm kicking it with people, and I see Dusties everywhere. You don't want to be them. You want to separate yourself. And the way that you separate yourself is self-care. Ladies get it for the fellas. Fellas don't wait for the ladies to get it for you. I'm about to hit the streets right now, and I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling great. I mean, I already got confidence, but to have that extra boost of confidence, knowing that you've taken care of yourself and you set yourself apart from all of the rest of the sheep that's walking around making bad decisions on a daily basis. And it's reflected in their actions. It's reflected in the products that they use. It's reflected in the people that they follow. And so if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to make sure that you look good, they're going to send you the pack. They're going to give you all of the instructions on how you're supposed to use it. Then make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. Again, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. Get your free gift. Make sure you tap in with your boy Anton Daniels because Unc is never going to lead you wrong. I would never have you use a product that I don't use myself. Again, they've been rocking with me for a long time. Make sure you get your Tiege Hanley. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you for tuning in for another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. I'm your host, Anton Daniels. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? A little bit of a different view. You probably can see more of my background a little bit simply because I forgot my stand that I would usually use here. I left it at the studio yesterday or last night, so I'm not happy about that. What's going on, friends? Just a brown girl in America says, "What's wrong, Anton? Why you say something wrong?" Just a brown girl in America. Why you say something wrong? My screen is down, so in order when I'm looking at the video or I'm looking at the chat or I'm kicking it with y'all, I actually got to look down because I'm sitting up higher because I had to use a different stand. So you said don't seem like your chipper self. Really? I just started the show. You don't think I'm my you don't think I seem like my chipper self? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Y'all said my glasses is my superpower. No, I'm not messing with AD. Had me up watching the show last night, and now I'm tired. Well, that's my goal. If Carrie Ferry says because I'm not wearing my glasses, that's my goal. My goal is to consume you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm in zero dark 30 on everything that I've been doing and everything that I got going on right now. I'm in zero dark 30 on everything, and that's largely because that is the best thing that I'm good at. Whenever I get frustrated, I return back to work. Whenever I get bothered with something, I go back to work. Whenever I'm feeling uncomfortable, I get back into work. And I think that that's the thing that I was confused about when we was talking about it on After Hours yesterday. On After Hours, I was talking with the crew, and we were evaluating this one guy, and he was saying that he just want to live the soft life. I don't know if I'm built like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care about relaxing. I don't care about TV. I don't care about nothing. Even like different projects that I got going on and stuff like that, they just don't autopilot. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't care. The only thing I care about, honestly, I hate to say it, is working. That is the thing that makes me happy. And I don't know if it's other guys out there that's like me. I don't know if it's other guys out there that's like me, but the only thing, the thing that makes me happy, let me say that, not the only thing I care about, because I care about a lot of things, right? Obviously, we all care about a lot of things. But the thing that makes me happy, the thing that gives me comfort, the thing that I love to do more than anything is work. And there's been people in my past and in my life and family, all kind of different people, and they'll be like, or friends or whatever, and they say, well, Anton, you got to have work-life balance and you got to do this and you got to do that. And it will make me angry because then when I'm doing it and I'm thinking to myself, let's say, for example, you go on a vacation, right? Let's say you go on a vacation or something like that, right? And you know they like, y'all, let's go to the club and let's turn up and stuff like that. And then I'll be looking at people and they be doing shit that I ain't interested in. And then I'll be feeling awkward. You know what I'm saying? Or they say, oh, let's go to this party, or oh, let me celebrate you. And then I gotta put on that fake fucking smile and I gotta be like, thank you. It's like, I don't give a fuck about that. Honestly. And I've just really become comfortable in my 40s being able to just say that out loud. It's like, can I just go back to my studio? Can I go back to building houses? Can I go back to developing an app or something like that? All I want to do is eat, sleep, and fucking work. And occasionally bust it down for a real one. You know what I'm saying? That's it. All I want to do is, give me, and now, the gym. That's it. And now the gym. That's all I care about. Like, I want to, after this live stream is over, I just want to go down to the gym. I want to lift and, you know, work and then fuck and work and then sleep and then wake up and work. That's all I care about. Like, and it ain't even about the money. Honest to God, and that's on everything. It's not even about the money, bro. Like, I don't even care about that. It's like, that's what I love. That's all I love to do. I love creating. I love working. I was um I was talking to my life insurance agent, right? Because after I left corporate America, I had to make sure that everything is in place because I always got to be proactive about everything. And I was talking to my life insurance person because I was making sure that my policies, I'm getting everything in order. I have to make sure everything in order. Everybody that I love, if anything was to ever happen to me, I always got to make sure the stuff is straight. So I got to have my life insurance in place. Got to have my accounts right. Got to have your, making sure that you get your taxes together. You never, if anything was to ever happen to you, God forbid, I don't anticipate anything happening to me. But if anything was to ever happen to you, fellas, make sure you get your stuff in order. It was really wild when my father died because found out that they owed back taxes. I had to take care of that shit. And I was in the middle of building a restaurant for him that was supposed to be his retirement gift and all of that stuff, right? So make sure you get your stuff in order. But I was talking to my life insurance agent. And so, I'm calculating stuff and we putting it together. And I'm making sure that I have the money available, and I'm making sure that my daughter and Rita and everybody or whatever is if anything was to ever happen to me, taking care of it, right? Um, and she was asking me like, because my every year my policy goes up, the amount that I'm doing it, because the amount that I want to be paid out if anything was to ever happen to me. And so part of the questions and part of the calculations is based off of like, okay, well, why do you want this amount? Why do you need, if anything was to ever happen to you, why would you want this amount? It don't, whatever the amount is, it's in the upper millions, right? And and I'm like, because it's based off of the amount of money that I make, it's based off of the amount that I generate or whatever. But then after that, after we were talking, and I was just thinking to myself, all of that, like the money and stuff like that, that's kind of like for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. I care about my lifestyle. the money that I make, a small piece of it, gives me the lifestyle that I have. But outside of that, I don't care about it. And it's one of the reasons why I'm so generous with my friends, with the people that I work with. I always want to make sure that everybody is taken care of. It's the reason why my life insurance is amount the way it is, because that shit means something to everybody else. It don't mean nothing to me. I only care about the work. And I don't know if it's just a phase that I've been going through over the last few years where I just drive to success, or I want to get better at what I do, or the live streaming and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. It's weird. It is weird. It's very, very weird. But it's one of the main things that make me happy. I just want to work. It's all I care about is the hustle. It's like it's in me. And if anybody was to ever take it away from me, I don't know what I would do with myself. You know what I'm saying? What you want me to do? I don't understand what retirement is. When people say, man, I tried that shit. I tried it, retirement. Man, that was one of the most miserable things that I've ever done in my life. I retired when I was 37 years old, and I was like, ugh. I mean, I just got to sit around or go on a fucking vacation, or like, what am I supposed to do with myself? Mm-mm. Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't care about none of that. So, no, I had a, so my 21st, let me read this super chat really quickly. I'm gonna do it this weekend. Did you have the AI live stream or did I miss it? My anniversary was yesterday, so I had to plan for that and take care of that, which I kind of keep segments of my personal life kind of offline and separate, because I understand that when you include certain things, then you kind of open it up for conversation for everybody. And the more visible that I become, the more subscribers that I get, all of that stuff, the more private I become about certain parts of my life. I'm okay with talking about other parts or just creating content around other parts, but I kind of keep certain things separate now, almost to the point to where I don't even really feel as comfortable like bringing people in public anymore like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about how I'm moving at the meetups, whereas I used to feel comfortable like bringing people and all of that stuff. Now I'm like, man, maybe it just should be me and my security. So that's a decision that I have to make. But yeah, I was focused on my anniversary yesterday. So I focused on that. And then, after I focused on the anniversary and stuff like that, I got back to work. Got back to work. True liberals are going crazy, Anton. Yeah, I don't feel comfortable no more. I don't feel comfortable bringing, when I move around with my family, I'm super private now. I went and got all of my cars tinted, no identifying license plates. I keep everybody separate, move everything into trusts, everything. So I'm just very, very, this is the type of shit that you got to worry about as you become more successful. And so this is the part that they don't talk about. So shout out to John. We are doing a live stream this weekend. Shout out to you. P. Shank, I appreciate you. Says, good morning, Mr. Anton Daniels on the Millionaire Morning Show. Thank you, P. Shank, for holding me down. And thank you to everybody that tapped into the after hours last night. That was dope. Happy anniversary. How many years? 21 years. 21 years. I ordered DoorDash last night. Let me read some of the cash apps. I ordered DoorDash last night, and it was a white guy came up, and this was during after hours. That's why I went off the camera. It was like 1 a.m. or something, and I ordered like some fries, or whatever. And the guy came up to the door, and security, the building is locked, all of that stuff. So I opened up the building in order to get my DoorDash. And I ordered my DoorDash under like an alias. I don't use my real name. And so as soon as, I don't know. I just don't expect it. Anton? You Anton? Oh man, I wasn't expecting that your order says this and that, this and that. Yeah, what up, fam? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just super like, Then, you know, when I see him leaving the parking lot, you know, because I got windows in the upper so I could see people. And then, you know, my car was the only one in the parking lot. So when he's driving by, he could see my car because I'm driving a 911 right now, which I'm about to switch it up. And I'm thinking to myself, when you drive by my car, which it probably ain't even nothing, but it's like, now I'm about to switch up my car because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different. It's just different. So, happy anniversary from the East Side, says they call me Mr. Bibbs. What up, though, Mr. Bibbs? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Gotta protect the family. Gotta protect the family. What is up with Delta? They keep giving me these updates. Did I see the new 1200 horsepower Corvettes? The ZR1X? I did see it. I did see it. I wouldn't mind getting a Corvette one day. That's the big thing. Shout out to Molly. She held me down yesterday. Annie Marie, I appreciate you for the well wishes. Spencer Campbell, Mike, that dude. Shout out to y'all. Also want to give a shout out to everybody that wished me well wishes with the anniversary and stuff like that. I appreciate y'all. Mythology Noir says, great message, Anton. Key to any successful marriage is to keep everyone out your window. Something too many people have lost track of. Happy anniversary. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, couple different housekeeping updates. I will be doing a live stream tomorrow, Saturday. So, make up for yesterday. So I will be doing a live stream tomorrow. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. I'm doing a Patreon live stream tomorrow also, or a Patreon live stream this weekend. So I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday, but I'm doing a Patreon live stream this weekend. We got an after hours tonight. And make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. All right. So let me say this. Let me show y'all something really quickly. Let me change this headline. This is Friday, so we're gonna kind of freestyle it. I got some stuff that I want to talk about. I want to talk about Iran. I want to talk about Trump. I want to talk about the Atlanta Water Boys. I want to talk about AI. Andrew Yang had a video where he spoke about AI. So we got some things, and then I'm gonna let the chat kind of determine how we move. All right. Let's see. But the first thing that I want to address, because I know she watching. I know she watching. What up, Molly? What up, Osriel? What up, Yakar? What up, everybody? Thank you, Miss Queen. I appreciate you. How y'all feeling today? How's everybody doing today? Daniel Joseph says, congratulations on 21 years. Thank you, Daniel Joseph. I appreciate you. Thank you for holding me down. Let me put this up here. So there's this woman. You guys have sent me a video to react to her, right? And there's this woman, and she jumped on TikTok and YouTube, and she had some wild stuff to say about immigrants and migrants and the fact that Mexicans are over into this country, and but they don't necessarily care for it here. They only come here to use our resources, and they leave and they take, you know, all of that other stuff, right? So I did a couple reactions or videos to it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Didn't say anything wild or egregious or anything like that. But I'm going to share the video with you guys, and I want you guys to understand it and see it for yourself. All right, so let me get this up real quick for you. I'm going to show you the actual reaction video that I did, and then I want you guys to evaluate it for yourself. So this is the video, the reaction video, and this is the woman.
Let me hold your hand when I say this. We do not move to America because we think it's a better country. We move here because it's a little less worse than our other countries. Because you're stupid to think that we moved to this country for some hot dogs and some baseball. We have better vibes, music, food, culture, history, literally all of the above. We just move here because we are looking to make more money and offer a better chance for our families. Did you know that the minimum wage a day, not an hour, a day in Mexico is not even 15 American dollars? Not even 15 American dollars. Right now with $15 in San Diego, I could go maybe buy a matcha and half of a granola bar, honey. If you support ICE, you support people getting destroyed. If you support families getting destroyed, I hope you rot in hell. And I will see you there, babes.
So she basically was like, yo, if you support the deportation of undocumented illegal migrants here from the United States of America, I hope you rot in hell. And I'll see you there. Word for word. Word for word. She goes on to say, and then she does another video where she doubled down on it. And I'm not going to, I ain't going to go into all of that or whatever. It's no point. Right? So she goes word for word. She says, we basically ain't fucking with this country. We don't even think that this country is better than us. We got better vibes. We got better food. We think that whatever, New Mexico and all of that stuff. And she was basically speaking on behalf of all migrants that come here to the United States of America and was basically saying that y'all country is a shithole, but we just take advantage of the finances, send it back to our family, back where we came from, and make our lives better as a result of it, right? And so I'm not sure if she understood what she was doing was insulting to people here in the United States of America. Doesn't even matter. I'll play a little bit of what my response was as far as, me doing this reaction. And this is what I had to say as a result of it. Evil. I hope y'all realizing, because when they're communicating this and when they jump on their phone and they start to have these conversations with y'all, they don't realize that they're actually telling on themselves and they're giving us reason to not support them. And more importantly, I want people to feel ashamed. I want Black people that's out there protesting on behalf of women like this, white people that are out there protesting on behalf of women like this, other legal migrants that came over and love this country. They don't care about what we got going on over here. They don't care about our culture. They don't care about what our standards are. They are going to do what they want to do. And one of the reasons is because they truly, even though they come from a third world country, as far as I'm concerned, even though they come from a less than ideal environment, even though they come from a space that is actually horrible when it comes to the cartel and the culture and all of this stuff, they feel like they're better than you. They feel like they're better than us. They feel like they're better than America. They just look at us as an economic opportunity. They're not looking to contribute. They're not looking to figure out how it is that they can learn the language. They're not looking to adjust. She just, out of her own mouth, told you, listen, we don't really fuck with y'all like that. So anyways, nothing incendiary, no telling anybody to go and dox or anything like that, right? But one of the things that I like to do at the end of the video is I like to give credit to the content creators. Listen, if I'm you, because I'm all out of sympathy personally. Not even a little bit concerned with what these people are talking about. If I'm you, I would be very, very, very much out of sympathy, and I would no longer be supporting anything that these people are talking about whatsoever. But you got the freedom to think what you want to think, and I always like to leave credit to the content creator, regardless of whether I agree with them or not. So make sure you tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Nothing out of the ordinary. I always link back to the content creator because I like to give credit where credit is due. And I don't agree, but I also support your right to say what you want to say, but you are not free from the consequences. Oh man, this woman has been trying to get this video removed. She is on her Instagram asking people to come and tell me to remove the video. She has not contacted me herself personally, but I have been through this probably no less than 1,000 times over my 11 years of being a content creator on YouTube. So I am familiar with fair use. I am familiar with reactions and all of that. And so because I abide by the rules and because I didn't say anything incendiary or tell people to do anything like that, I would never do anything like that. But I definitely like to give credit to the content creators. I decided to leave it up. 98% of the time, if somebody was to contact me and say, hey, listen, you know what? I'm taking my video down because I'm not really sure that I meant what I said or whatever, so on and so forth. And you know what? I don't want to ruin my reputation. Can you take yours down? I would oblige. I am a very nice, amicable person. But when I start to get bullied, when people start to, try to tell me what I can and can't do, especially when I'm abiding by the rules after you just disrespected what's going on here in the United States of America, I kind of dig in a little bit, right? So this is what I've been receiving. This is the second one that I've received. This is a copyright takedown request received from YouTube. So what she has basically done is what a lot of people try to do is they go and they file a copyright strike. The copyright strikes, what they don't understand is that when you get to a certain level, it's not by default. Anytime anybody ever requests for a copyright strike or a copyright takedown request, YouTube doesn't just issue it to people like me. I'm just telling you, it's one of the privileges of being a contributing member to YouTube and generating a lot of revenue to the platform. YouTube don't do that to people like me. So they put it up. They sent me the email. As soon as she filed it, they sent me the email. And I'm going to read it to you guys. Here, I'll read it to you on this. There's no point in saying this, showing this on the screen. I'm going to read it to you guys. It says, y'all got to familiarize yourselves with the rules before y'all decide to jump into the mire. Hello, we've received a copyright infringement notification below regarding your video, and we believe your content is protected by fair use, fair dealing, or a similar exception to copyright protection, and we writing to let you know we do not plan to remove your video at this time. You have control over the availability of videos on your channel, including the ability to delete them if you choose. And then it goes on to say more and more and more. And then it actually gives me a copy of what they filed, right? And this is YouTube's response to the person that filed the copyright, right? It says, thank you for submitting your copyright takedown request. Your request will be reviewed to make sure that it's valid and it has all of the required elements. In your request, you ask that we remove the videos and prevent any copies from being uploaded in the future. Blah, 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 blah. And then this is what she, that's what she submitted. Then it goes on to say, hi, it says her name. Thank you for your removal request. We've reviewed your request and we need some more information before we can proceed. We're concerned. This is YouTube letting you know, don't abuse the rules because you're going to fuck around and find out. We're concerned that your copyright notification may not be valid for the videos listed below. Please keep in mind, it is legal to use copyrighted works in specific ways without an owner's authorization, particularly for transformative purposes such as news reporting, parody, commentary, or review. If you still believe your copyright is infringed, identified below, please explain in detail why you think so. Blah, 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 blah. This is what she says. I am the original creator of the content used in the video. I'm writing to clarify why I believe this is a clear case of copyright infringement and not protected under fair use, which it is, obviously. Number one, how much of my work was used? The uploader used my original video in full multiple times throughout this video without my permission. These clips are reposted exactly as they appear on my platform with no editing, transformation, or actual content. It's a lie. You're sitting right next to me, creating commentary while I'm looking at and reviewing whatever it is you're doing. So we all know that that's a lie. She goes on to say the second bullet point, transformative nature and purpose. While the uploader adds commentary, that just, negates the first point. It is not in good faith. In a commentary, matter of fact, I'll show it to you guys. I want y'all to see it in real time. No point in me reading it. We could just show the whole thing. I don't want to show her full name, so I'm not going to do that. It is not in good faith. The commentary is harmful, hateful, spreads misinformation, and is rooted in personal attacks and bullying. The content is not transformative in a legally protected sense. It does not offer legitimate critique, education, or parody. Instead, it uses my original work as a vehicle for targeted harassment. Goes on to say her third bullet point, ongoing harm. She says, as a direct result of this video, I am now experiencing harassment across all of my platforms, including YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I have received thousands of hateful comments and messages. My online presence is being flooded with abuse from viewers who were directed to me through this targeted video. Now, I don't remember ever telling anybody to go and do anything to anybody. As a matter of fact, I always just say, I am going to credit you regardless of whether you agree or not. And everybody else is going to do whatever it is that they do. I have no control over what anybody does. You don't even know if they came from my platform. But the thing that I always want to make sure that I do is create commentary and nuance to the conversation, not direct anybody to do anything negative to anybody. And that's not what I did at all. Her next bullet point says the market effect. This kind of unauthorized and hostile use significantly harms my brand. I didn't even know you had a brand. Damages my mental health and restricts my ability to share my own content safely. It also redirects potential followers and engagement away from my channels to a toxic environment that I did not authorize and cannot control. And this is her last bullet point. Why this is not fair use. Fair use is not a shield for harassment or targeted abuse. While commentary is present, it is being used to incite hatred, ridicule, and misinformation, not to inform or contribute to public discourse. The uploader's actions are clearly in bad faith and serve to exploit my content, not transform it. Aww. Goes on to say, I respectfully request that the video be removed as it infringes on my rights as the original creator. It is causing ongoing harm across multiple platforms. I am happy to provide additional context, evidence, and documentation if needed. And then YouTube responded and said, thank you for your response. And it specifically says, we reviewed it and provided updates below. Requests declined. Oh, let me show that one part to you. Let me show that part. I gotta at least show that part. Thank you for your response. We've reviewed it and provided updates below. Request denied. So listen. This is what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is the lesson in this, all right? There is a lesson. This is not me trolling or anything like that. All I wanted to do is give y'all clarification and also help you to understand the rules of the game, all right? This is just like any other game that we play, and I've explained this to you guys the other day. This is the rules to the game. If you are in a relationship or you decide that you want to get involved with women in a relationship out here in these streets, the rules to the game is this. She's yours until she's not. If she decides to choose up, choose over, or choose down, then she's no longer yours. It's just your turn. Don't get mad at the guy. You can hold her accountable, but you also have to understand the rules to the game. If she choose over or she choose up, that's not your chick. She was just with you temporarily. That's the game. Don't get mad at the player. Get mad at the game. If you decide to go in corporate America, You're going to have to be a cultural fit. You can't complain about the fact that they're not promoting you the way that you want to be promoted because you feel like you overdid your work and you're better than everybody else. That's not how the game works. You got to know how to network effectively. That's the rules to the game. If you decide that you wanted to get into the content creation game, let's just bring it all the way back home. The rules to the game is this. The rules to the game is this. You cannot put publicly on the internet what you want to put. If you wanted to send that privately to your friends, then you are free to do that. If you wanted to keep your thoughts to yourself, then you are free to do that. But you cannot say what you want to say without also having a response or consequences, because everybody don't have to agree with you. Everybody don't have to make you feel good about your opinion. This is not 2021. This is 2025. And we don't believe in censorship. We also don't believe in bullying because that's not what we do. But we also have a right to be able to say what we want to say in response. And because I understand the rules of the game, people talk about me all the time. They say negative stuff about me. They have responses. They say, Anton, we don't like you, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And guess what? Instead of me getting mad, you know what I did? I leveraged it. And I said, okay, well, since I got the visibility and now I got the spotlight, I'm going to leverage them in order to promote me. And I'm going to double down on what I say. I'm not really sure that these women, that these new content creators, that these people that don't even have a following and don't even make money on the internet, you decided to pick up your phone and you decided to go out there and jump off the bridge of content to say the things that you wanted to say. The internet is forever. The internet is forever. 100%. Between me uploading it on different platforms, that video, my response is well over 1 million views. And you ain't even make no money off your own stuff. I'm the one that made money off that. Do you know how much money I made off of that reaction video alone? That's the rules of the game, baby. You got to learn the rules before you get into it. If you in a dope game, guess what? It's a possibility that you're going to have to do some stuff that you ain't want to do in order to set a precedent. Or don't be in the game, baby. You had every right to be able to put your phone down or you can jump off and say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say, but you cannot control people's reaction to it. Now, again, let me double down on this and say that I don't believe that anybody whatsoever should say anything and try to incite violence. Do not bother that woman. Don't try to dox her, none of that stuff. But I can't control what other people do. All I can do is use my platform for good. I stand against illegal migrants coming into the United States of America and breaking the rules. I believe that Trump should deport them. And if you want to jump on the internet and give your opinion, and if it doesn't make sense, then guess what? People have a right to be able to react to it. And all of it is fair use, fair game. And we play by the rules, and that's why we don't take nothing back. Now I'm not going to ever take it down. Now I'm not going to take it down. They could have went the other way, but now I'm not going to take it down. So just a warning for y'all on the internet. If y'all decide that y'all want to get involved in this game, know what come with it. I've had people that's watching this right now. And they've said, oh, this person invited me to start a podcast with them, or this person invited me to be on the internet, or this person asked me, could I sit in on their show and be a contributing member? And I told them straight up, I said, I would highly advise, I'm telling you, I am 100% advising you that is not the move. Do not do it. Do not do it. Don't do it. And they said, why? Oh, it'll just be innocent. We just gonna talk about relationships. And I said, until somebody like me, not me, because I know you, so I'm gonna give you grace. Until somebody like me, somebody gonna send me the video and say, or send somebody else a video and say, hey man, do you see what these crazy women is talking about? And next thing you know, you're gonna be complaining about it because the internet is forever and you're gonna go down to infamy. And you're gonna feel some type of way. It only takes but one wrong move. One wrong, whatever. Trust me, there's plenty of women that came to me. Oh my God, I can't believe I said what I said on After Hours, not on After Hours, on the Q show or Monday night and all of that stuff. And I just be like, So what you want me to do about it? It's there now. We here. I bet you she will. You know what I'm saying? I bet you she will. So that's it, man. Y'all got to be careful. This internet thing is not a joke. This is real life. This is big money. This is big content. This is big dog stuff. You can go viral for the right reasons and you can go viral for the wrong reasons. The game is the game. You have to play it carefully or don't play it at all. Get the fuck out. That's not what you want to do. It is what it is. The internet gonna do what the internet do. What you want me to do? What you want me to do? You shouldn't have said it. And you know what the worst part about the whole conversation is? And we could go ahead and move on after this. You know what the worst part about the whole conversation is? Is that they still got the video up. They still got their video up saying crazy stuff. You want me to remove my reaction to it? Never. Never. You don't even regret what you said. You don't even believe that you're wrong. And that's fair. I don't believe that you're wrong either. Let's just keep getting this money together. Or at least help me get money. You know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel with turn your notifications. Do y'all like this view more? Do you like more of the open and then you can kind of see the city or whatever? Because like I said, I'm sitting differently. I got a different stand. It kind of sits up a little bit more. You can probably see the ring light right there. Y'all like this a little bit more or not? Let me know inside of the chat. Let me continue on. 392Q says that private. That's why I keep my chick off the internet. I tried it before. I was on some like, oh, you know, I don't know if y'all remember, I was experimenting a little bit and I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I am my chick. Nah. I started getting some traction. I started getting way more motion. I started getting more subscribers. It's like, I'm gonna tell you what happened. I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened. We was on a Millionaire Morning Show one day. I'm gonna read the super chat in a minute. We was on a Millionaire Morning Show one day, and she had disagreed with me on one point, and she was like, kind of like, no, you know, I think you're wrong about this. And it wasn't a big deal. Like the point that we were talking about or whatever the subject was a big deal. But I couldn't go in on her the way I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't dig in her. I couldn't say, you know, you wrong as hell, or man, these bitches don't know what they talking about. And because I had to censor myself, I was like, I'm not doing it. We not even gonna get started. We not even gonna start with this shit. We not gonna do it. And y'all want to be honest? I'll be honest with y'all. The next day, I said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the show by myself. And she was like, you kicking me off? Why you kicking me off? I said, listen, this ain't for you. This is not your life. This ain't for you. Everything don't have to be a partnership. I see you niggas with Instagram profiles, and I see y'all on the internet. I see y'all on YouTube. And y'all have your whole family. This is John and Tina's YouTube channel. John and Tina reviews relationships. You gonna fuck up. You gonna mess up. It's a bad decision. I'm telling you right now. It is a bad decision. They say your back should be towards the window, show to look out. Yeah, the problem with that is that the natural light doesn't make for a better, you know what I'm saying? Better camera. I mean, I could do it if I wanted to. I'm not gonna show you. Nah. You in there with the profile picture, you and your girl and your family together. We're talking about spiritual. No, nigga, that's a bad idea. Get your own social media account, dog. Stop sharing social media. Stop being on the same account. You can share your YouTube premium because you can share it with multiple different people, but do not use the same account, bro. Get off of that. Stop simping. Get your own shit. I tried that junk, bro. I did, man. Tried that. That is so. I was like, nope. Nope. I learned quickly. I learned very, very quickly. I couldn't go in. I couldn't talk shit about her. Man, y'all hoes be doing some dumb shit. You can't do that when it's your girl, especially in this real time. I was like, Very next day, I was like, what's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys. No matching outfits, no Christmas sweaters, no nothing, nigga. Everything is off. It's all off. Get the hell up off there. Nope. Not gonna happen. Private life is wild. The private life is wild. Next is bulletproofing the windows. Happy anniversary as well. You do background checks on people coming to your meetups? Nah, I don't do no background checks. We just rock it. Every single meetup has been a vibe. Market is in red by Morris says dot focus. Shout out to you. I appreciate you. What's up, Mika in the chat? Wesley Turner says no surrender, no retreat. Keep it up, AD. Yeah, we got to keep rocking out. Eric Welfare says, is my Patreon subscription up to date or did I miss the AI live stream? No, man, I had an anniversary yesterday, so had to plan for that. You know what I'm saying? But we doing it this weekend. Promise you. Dave Smith, so let me get this straight. It's a problem if immigrants come here and take advantage of the opportunities. A lot of lazy Americans don't. No, you can do what you want to do. Just don't be mad when we criticize it too. When you jump on the internet and you say what you want to say, and you want to send money back to your place, cool. If you're here illegally, then we're going to get ice on your ass. It's one guy that I know in real life. I've come to the conclusion that he's an undocumented illegal migrant. If he's a op. He don't know how much of an op he is yet, but I'm waiting to see if the Trump administration. I'm honest. I'm so honest. I'm being real. I'm waiting to see if the Trump administration ever offer a bounty. If the Trump administration offers a bounty, then his ass is up out of here. His ass is out of here. If the Trump administration ever offer a bounty, he gone. So I'm just waiting to see if it's any financial compensation that come along with it. Come over here and do what you want to do if you want to. Keep talking shit. Listen, my suggestion is if you come over here to America, shut the fuck up, do what you got to do, and get your money. If you're illegal. Otherwise, you're going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person and it's going to go left. Messy Mathematician says, happy anniversary. Love to you and Mrs. Daniels. Thank you, Messy. I appreciate you. 50% Simp said, it's the World Wide Web. It's forever, everywhere. That's a fact. Big One M Dub says, happy anniversary to AD. Thank you, Big One M Dub. I appreciate you. Da Vinci PTV says, she opened her big mouth about first thinking about the repercussions. She must have really hated America now. First Amendment citizens have rights too. That's a fact. Wesley Turner says, she's coming after you because your response went viral. Bump this bit and all her anti-American sentiments go home. Eric Wolf Harris says, how about a glass of her tears on ice? Shell says, the way she deep sea diving in the Victim Olympics is wild. The lack of accountability is monumental. Oop Milk says 2K. She's so crazy. Maya got some fire. And I made so much money off that video. Happy anniversary to you and Rita. Much respect. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Wesley Turner says those points was made without her poppy GPT. 392Q says in order for 80 to take down a video, she got to come on an I Choose You 2 tour. You said that, not me. Keep doing what you do, champ. The camera view is better. So y'all like this camera view better? I like it. I do like it better. I'm actually looking out the window, so maybe I'll switch it around on the next show. Anyways, hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. If Trump ever offered compensation yet, I'm getting him up out of here. I'm getting him up out of here. How do I know that he's an illegal migrant? Because he can't fucking vote. Because he can't vote. Been here too long, can't vote, keep going back and forth to his own country. Yeah, Bernie supporter too. Says, you're a what? You're a Bernie Sanders supporter? And he was arguing in favor of Bernie Sanders like he could actually vote for him. I said, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. They offer a bounty. I give them the exact address. All right, y'all. What y'all want to talk about next? Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Let me see. It's Friday, so I'm gonna let y'all be able to pick and choose. This is what I wanted to talk about. Let me flip this. I got to put it on YouTube Premium, so I don't get no. $1,000 ain't enough. What up? Keep it a cold case. $1,000 ain't enough. They got to come on more than that. Larry Miller says, AD, you would crash out. He's still talking about stuff from last night. AD, you would crash out if you caught some allegations of SA or grape instead of paying. You said you would not let anything come between you and your bag. I said that I would not let anything that I do. So I'm not going to put myself in a space where I would separate, I would select a woman over a bag. So like, for example, let's say, I got a choice between going out and partying and going to make some money, or I got an opportunity to make some additional money or take care of business versus doing something that I'm not supposed to do. I'm going to choose taking care of business and getting to the bag first. That is completely separate with a false allegation, right? If somebody lies on me, it's up. I believe that there are things that are more important than money. God is more important than money. Truth is more important than money. You know what I'm saying? Integrity is more important than money. Loyalty is more important than money. I don't worship money. I believe in doing the thing that you're supposed to do to make a good financial decision and get to the bag, because we bag chasers. But I don't believe in sacrificing who you are as a person and selling your soul for money. So I'm never going to support, be in favor of, or ever bow down to somebody making a false allegation except because it's over a bag. I trust God more than I trust the devil. If a demon approached me and tell me that I'm supposed to negotiate with him, it's up. It's up. I don't negotiate with the devil. I don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't. There's nothing that you can ever do that will ever sell me on the idea that I am supposed to justify somebody lying on me and paying them because they have an opportunity to take advantage of the system. I'm never doing that. If I am innocent, I will never, ever, ever negotiate with somebody over being innocent. I'm not. I'm never doing it. I don't care what the money is. I don't care if I could sell it for $1. I'm never giving in to the devil. I'm never giving in to a demon that is trying to finesse me. I don't care what it is. Because what's stopping them? Never. I'm just not. I don't care about what y'all think. I don't care if y'all always want to protect the bag and all of that stuff. I think it's some things that's more important than money. And I don't have respect. I don't have respect for men that try to convince me of it. Oh, but this and that. Man, fuck you. Stand up, big dog. Stand up. Stand on something, bro. Stand on something. Make your life worth. Your life have to be worth more than just money alone. It has to be some integrity behind it. That's why I won't sign with an agency. That's why I won't take a deal. Because when I look at the deal and I look at how it is that they finesse it, I'm like, yeah, I can make a whole lot of money. But I wouldn't be happy because I would kick myself in the ass. And I'd rather bet on me. I bet on me. I'm a bet on me. I'm a bet on the God in me. I'm a bet on my spirituality. And I just think that God has always had my back. And I've always made the right decision. And I'm not going to stop now. I'm not going to turn my back on what I believe now over some fucking money. I've already got enough money. And see, here's the other part of it. And I'm going to get to this story, bro. I'm going to get to this story. You can't, how can I put this? You can't negotiate with somebody like me because I've been poor before. So it's not like I'm You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person that has never been broke, and so I don't know what to do, or I'm not sure how to get it back again. I've been up, I lost it, and I got it all back. So when a person is from the trenches, and when a person is, been in poverty, or man, that don't mean, man, I sleep in my car. I still sleep in my studio sometimes. I sleep on a fucking futon. This shit don't impress me. This is extra. It's extra. And so you can't threaten me with any of that. You know what I'm saying? Before anybody ever was to say, let's say, for example, I fucked a chick, right? On the low. And she comes out and she says, well, I'm telling you, or I'll tell Tasha K, whatever. Shout out to Tasha K. This ain't no shot at her, but this is, for example, I'll tell Tasha K. Bitch, I tell Tasha K. I fucked the shit out of that hoe. And I sent her home, back to wherever it is that she came from. I'll expose me before you do. I don't care. And I'm still going to capitalize off it, and I'm still going to be a winner. And nobody is going to go nowhere. Nobody is going to unsubscribe. We still going to rock out. When I go dark, bro, I don't give a fuck. I will tell you that I did it before you do. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Yeah, man. She asked me because she kissed the tip. I said, okay. And then she started taking the whole load. What the fuck was I supposed to do, nigga? My bad. God is still working on me, nigga. Hey, baby, you want to go out to dinner or no? I'm going to do a whole series about it. I'm going to do a part 30 series about that shit. Yeah, she put her head in my lap. I just unzipped my pants. She decided to take the whole load. Bitch, I'm from 8 Mile. I'm from 8 Mile in Livernois, Sconey. I'm from 20214 Green Lawn, Norfolk and Chip. I don't give a fuck about you. Like I said that Derek Jackson should have never apologized. Why are you apologizing? Why are you doing an apology video? Stand on that shit. Yeah, I have seen a couple baddies. We all fall victim to the box sometimes. Let's get to it. All I'm saying is, I don't believe in people that are trying to do some deceitful shit in order to finesse a bag out of you. Don't negotiate with nobody. Don't negotiate with nobody. Own whatever it is. If you did something wrong, and if you didn't do nothing wrong, then stand on that shit. You know what I'm saying? And also tell them how you liked it. Tell them that part too. Tell them the part that you also like. Don't just say the one part. Tell them that you liked it. How many times did you? tell them how I was eating the kids' fruit snacks right after that. You know what I'm saying? If we don't go there, then let's just go all the way in. Tell them how I was why your kids ain't got no food to go to school with in the morning. You don't want to tell them that part? Tell them how you was making me hot chocolate afterwards. Anyways, make sure you hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn your notifications. I'm not muted. I'm not muted. I'm not muted. Y'all can't hear me? Carrie is saying that I'm muted. Y'all can't hear me? Y'all let me know if my audio is right before we go to this next story. Y'all hear me? So it's just Carrie. It's just Carrie. See how God work? See how God be working? You see how God be working? Anyways, let's go ahead and get to this next story. So somebody sent this to me. She not trying to hear me? Oh, we got wild last night. Now that Carrie wasn't at after hours, we got absolutely wild last night. It was crazy. He's trying to get mute. No, it's not nothing that I did though, Carrie. It's something. It's just letting people know that Don't fuck with me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Carrie wasn't there last night. We was getting to it. Check out this story, y'all. This is pretty wild. I thought that this was pretty crazy. Let's get to it, y'all. I'm not even going to change the bottom of the thing. We're just going to get to these stories and get it popping.
First at 5, the trial of a man accused of killing a 14-year-old girl got off to an explosive start as prosecutors revealed the motive. Alexia Alexander was killed 3 years ago, and prosecutors have charged Ronnie Walker with capital murder. But the defense says he is not the man they should be looking at. Fox 13's Evan Axelbank is live at the Hillsborough County Courthouse to unpack opening statements today. Evan, what they have to say?
Well, prosecutors say that Walker was mad that his relationship with Alexia had been exposed. The defense says that police bullied an accomplice into lying about who pulled the trigger.
Now, Alexia Alexander.
Maybe the only central fact not in dispute in this courtroom is that Alexia Alexander was too young for any of this.
14-year-old Alexia Alexander had run away from home. It wasn't her first time running away from home. She'd been struggling.
Her mother had to listen to and see some of the gory details from the early morning of May 6th of 2022, when her daughter Alexia was found shot 6 times, at least once in the head. Prosecutors believe Walker was mad he had contracted something from her in their relationship.
Okay, so we're going to get to this story, and we're going to deep dive into this. But let me just say this, and I stand on it, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to read Super Chats and Cash Apps. I'm going to do all of that in a little bit. Y'all niggas is nasty, bro. Y'all nasty. Y'all are wild, bro. Y'all messing with 14-year-old chicks. Y'all wild, man. Y'all next. Real talk. Real talk. Y'all some nasty dudes, bro. See, that's the type of shit that I don't like. This is the type of stuff that I think is wild, bro. This is the type of thing that we need to be taking a stand against. Fuck the disease. Because here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing that they're trying to make. They're trying to say that he got mad because he thought that she gave him something and that he gave it to his wife. Y'all dealing with these underage girls? Man, an underage girl can't even talk to me. If you look too young, I don't care if you got ID. If I even have to ask you, here's my sentiment. If I have to ask you how old are you in order to make sure you of age, you too young. You're too young. I don't care. You could be 20, 21, 22 years old. If you look like you too young, you too young. That's the rule of thumb. You can't hang around here. Go fucking home. Where your school books at? My nephews be bringing their little bad chicks around at Thanksgiving dinner and stuff. They look like children to me. I'll be like, oh, what do y'all do? Play video games together? It's no way in the world that I could ever look at that chick and say, oh man, she probably, I love to see that. If you look too young, you're too young. If you don't look like a grown woman, and I mean like all the way grown, like you got a career or you done been, see, that's why I don't mind when y'all say, Anton, you know what I'm saying? You be dealing with these, chicks on the panel that be unruly. That's because I know that them little funky hoes done been through something. She got a couple head beats up in here, or she a little raggedy. She always talking about the body. Yeah, she a little ratchet, but I know she of age because she done been through some shit. You got to start testing these girls. Say a random rap song, you know what I'm saying, that only you would know if you was alive. If I ruled the world. Or say something that was sampled. You know what I'm saying? Play something in the car that Houdini made, and then they resampled it in order to have it, you know what I'm saying, to something out. If they say, oh, what is this? Get that bitch up out the car. Nigga, that she too young. She too young. Y'all talking about ask for ID? I don't want your ID. I want you out the car. Don't touch my car. Don't even put a fingerprint on my car. If a girl come up to me and say, oh my God, I watch your YouTube. Haha, that's cool. Can we take a picture? Nope. Nope. You look too young. I'm not taking no picture with you. Did y'all know that there are certain celebrities that is trained to put their hands behind their back when they take pictures with certain women or certain ages of women? They don't even want to be associated. Bruh, if you are dealing with a chick that looks too young, and I know the argument is always, yeah, but this is the legal age. You're a predator, bro. You're a predator. I'm telling you right now, you are the predator, nigga. You are who Sanaa Lathan was running through an Alien versus Predator trying to fight the mothership. You're a predator. If you got to think about it, you got to try to figure it out. You're a predator. Now, I'm not against age gap relationships, but if she looks too young to the point to where you got to figure out if she got ID, no, you're a predator. Listen, if you are of age, if you 23, 24, 25 years old and he 40, whatever. I don't care. That's a whole nother conversation. But if we start getting to the point to where we're debating whether you are 15, 16, 17 years old and what the legal age is in your state, you nasty, bro. You nasty. You a nasty nigga. Flat out. If you like them, you know what I'm saying, you prefer to get a younger girl because you feel like she's not tainted by feminism and all of that shit, and she in her early 20s or whatever, cool. I ain't tripping off of that. That's not my cup of tea. That's not something that I would do, but it's not something that I would trip about. That's not tripping. We not even going to debate that. Cool. You just you don't want to deal with the old hags. You know what I'm saying? Cool. I get you. But if we got to start debating how old you are in your state, that's a little much, bro. That's a little much for me personally.
And that he'd given it to his actual girlfriend.
That gun was within 12 inches of her face. Intentional, premeditated.
Prosecutors say they'll be calling a witness who will testify that Walker admitted to shooting her after blaming someone else, that he lied to investigators, and that he tried to clean the blood from his car. In their opening statement, defense attorneys are pouncing on the credibility of those witnesses.
He had been in jail, bonded out, committed more crimes, bonded out, and he was about to have his bond revoked. He was about to be in a situation where he would have to go back to jail.
Defense attorneys say it was the other person in the car that night, Robert Creed, who killed Alexia, insisting that only Creed had been communicating with her in the days before the shooting. They also insist the DNA evidence of blood is not conclusive and that Creed's critical statements to detectives that Walker shot Alexia only came because the detectives badgered him.
If Ronnie Walker just shot and killed her in the car because he was mad at her, just tell me that. And then, and only then, you will hear that Robert Creed, for the first time, changes his story and says, that's exactly what happened. And from there on out, Robert Creed mimics, repeats what the detective had told him.
This trial is expected to take many days, Haley. They just wrapped up testimony for today. The trial is going to feature testimony from Robert Creed, who has pleaded guilty to accessory after the fact. What he says about what he saw that night in that car could play a critical role in whether Ronnie Walker does indeed get convicted.
So basically what they're debating and what they're trying to figure out is who actually pulled the trigger. Not that he didn't mess with a younger girl, not that he didn't get a disease, not that he didn't get a disease to his wife, not none of that stuff. They're not debating whether or not they mess with an underage girl, a runaway woman, mother sitting in court. That's not what they're debating. They're trying to debate who was the person that actually pulled the trigger. Was it this guy or was it this guy? Disgusting, bro. Disgusting. Just Being Tasha says, what is she doing around this old man? She ran away from home. She ran away from home. She's a child. She's 14. Middle schooler, running away from home. They're not debating whether or not they was busting her down for a real one, which sounds wild to me. They're debating whether or not this person shot her or this person shot her, or whether I was coerced into a confession. Nah. Monsters, bro. Monsters. And I think that it's still going on to this day. I think that there are still people that's still pulling up to the high school, that's still sending DMs to these young chicks. Man, I almost believe that we should be banning people under a certain age from being on apps. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I almost believe that we should ban people. There should not be social media for people under the age of 18. They in the schools, Mika. I don't believe that we should be able to have, there should not be social media should be absolutely banned for anybody under the age of 18 at this point. And it's not that social media is bad for young people, because I think that young people interacting with young people with social media is cool. I don't have a problem with that. The problem is how do we protect our babies against predators? How do we protect our babies against people that jump on the app and say that they actually of age, but they underage? Because they'll hunt you on any application. How do we protect our babies?
Sorry, Mr. Call.
Shout out to Bryant Smith. Bryant Smith on Cash App. Shout out to you. Says booked flight, lost ID, not good for AR Smith. How y'all booking the flight and y'all lost y'all ID? That don't mean that you can't go through the airport. You just got to go through some extra checkpoints of security. Robert Banks says, preach, big dog. Grave plots and funerals paid for. Facts. Sending everybody to the grave. King to All says, got to stop my wife from calling ICE every day. She look at them and look at me, and I'll be like, stop it. Hey, when did they say that they was actually coming to do the roof for the other house? Or did they give a date yet?
No, they didn't give a date yet.
Okay, because she was just asking me. So that's all. I just said I'm not sure yet to her, and so I told her I'll let her know when, you know what I'm saying, when I find out.
Okay. Yeah, they didn't say yet.
All right, thanks. Bye. She'd be like, Uncle Tom Holman is on the way. You got to stop your wife from calling ICE every day, King to All. Tone or Tonio says, man, Anton, you messed up my head with the loose change. I see. Now you starting to open up your eyes. Draw your own conclusion. Elevate to the Unknown says, Anton be wild, and y'all better not even joke about doing things with other women. Even as an analogy might end up missing. This is exactly what my wife would do to me. Happy anniversary, bro. Shout out to my dog, Elevate to the Unknown. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. Says the truth hurts, says Robert Seals. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. Well, y'all better stop. I thought that when you get married in the United States of America, that you can get a green card, and that's how y'all get y'all a faster way or a faster path to citizenship here in the United States. Am I off on that? Pedos is not even supposed to have access to the internet. All right, y'all, let's get into this Trump situation. Let me see what's happening. Which one do we want to share? Let's go with this one first. I heard Trump is setting a 2-week deadline on ICE.
Top story, the showdown with Iran. President Trump is weighing a possible attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, saying he'll make a decision within the next 2 weeks, but indicating that a diplomatic solution is still on the table. Let's go to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, for more. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Rebecca. Well, the president has now given himself a 2-week deadline to make this high-stakes decision whether to strike Iran. We are told he's hoping this gives the Iranians, quote, time to come to their senses and come back to the negotiating table. The big question now, what happens if they don't? This morning, as Israel and Iran trade fierce blows, and after weighing his options over several tense days, President Trump is now giving himself 2 weeks to decide whether the U.S. should strike Iran. The president holding out hope for negotiations as European leaders meet in Geneva today with the Iranians to try and jumpstart talks. I asked the press secretary if there's no progress in the next 2 weeks, does that mean the U.S. will bomb Iran?
Is he saying that if Iran does not come back to the negotiating table within the next 2 weeks, that the president will strike?
The president is saying that he will make a decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks. It's very clear and direct.
Is he seeing any inklings of progress that give him that hope that talks are still possible?
Well, that's why he said in the statement that I just read for all of you, based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, he will make that decision within the next 2 weeks.
What makes him think there's still a substantial chance?
I'm not going to get into the reasoning and the rationale the president believes that, but that's his position, and he will make a decision within the next 2 weeks.
But the pressure to make up his mind only growing. According to a source, the president is troubled by the deep divisions in his own party about what he should do, hold out for negotiations or join the attack. One key advisor who's been urging restraint, Steve Bannon, spotted at the White House yesterday shortly after posting this clip.
Netanyahu, just finish what you started.
One source telling ABC News Trump is trying to psych himself up, convince himself that whatever he ultimately decides to do is warranted. The president's new 2-week timeline, a blow to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has been pushing for the U.S. to get involved. Only the U.S. has the 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb capable of penetrating Iran's nuclear site 300 feet underground. It's never been used on the battlefield, and there are concerns about how effective it would be. Netanyahu now publicly putting his trust in Trump to make what he says is the right choice. Now,
Jesus, Lord, have mercy. Lord, be with the United States of America and be with our president, and bless him to be smart, not to drag us into this war. We don't want to be involved in this shit. Be with our president. We don't need to be involved in this. From the very beginning, I've said this and I'm going to say it again. I don't understand Israel. I don't understand why we like them so much. It's like a bad side chick. In Jesus' name. It's like a horrible side chick. Like you ever kicked it with your homie and his girl was talking too much and y'all was like, hey man, why don't you get some control? Muzzle that off. Israel's like a bad side chick, bro. Honest to God, bro. Seriously, I don't know why we would get involved in this dumb shit. Why are we involved in these stupid fucking wars? Couldn't believe that I sat there and I agreed with Bernie Sanders on Wednesday. Seriously, man. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. I don't understand why we so involved in this situation and why this is so why we're required to participate in this. What you mean we got to use a bunker buster? What you mean? We don't have to do nothing. We can sit there and chill and relax. This is what Trump said in response to an assassination attempt with his own threat to Iran. Let me share this with y'all really quickly.
It's Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
Trump has a completely, he has a similar approach, I would say, to Iran, which is that if they get
Bible
him,
authority,
they're
you
going to
read
be
your
in an
own Bible.
Iran and their proxies who have threatened to retaliate against you and your team by killing you guys for taking out Soleimani.
Well, they haven't done that, and that would be a terrible thing for them to do, not because of me. If they did that, they would be obliterated. That'd be the end. I've left instructions. If they do it, they get obliterated. There won't be anything left. And they shouldn't be able to do it. And Biden should have said that, but he never did. I don't know why, lack of intelligence, perhaps. But he never said it. If that happens to a leader or close to a leader, frankly, if you had other people involved also, you would call for total obliteration of a state that did it. That would include Iran.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know why this has to be said. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like certain things don't have to be said. Certain things don't have to be communicated. You don't have to like say, yeah, you know, whatever. Like what's understood don't need to be said. And so I think it's a mistake for us to continue to align ourselves and allow for Israel to do this. I think it was a mistake for us to get involved with this in the first place. When this first popped off and they said, yo, we don't have nothing to do with this or whatever. Now, within 7 days, within 1 week, we already having conversations about whether or not we want to use the bunker buster because it burrows 200 feet into the ground and then explodes. And then they would have to use more than one bunker buster, hoping that it actually impacted the nuclear facilities or the potential nuclear facilities. I mean, I don't want to be involved with this shit, bro. I really don't, bro. I don't want to be involved with this. This ain't our fight. I don't know why we always feel like we got to get involved in this dumb stuff. I'm just not. I'm not all for it, bro. I'm not. It don't mean anything to me. It's not something that I think that we should be involved in, and it aggravates me. It really does aggravate me, bro. I'm not for it. I'm not feeling it. It don't make me feel good about it. I don't have good energy about it. And if he's saying that he's got division within his own cabinet. So if you got division in your own cabinet of people that are back and forth versus, you know, as far as whether or not you should or you shouldn't get involved, you always err on the side of caution. You never, ever, ever move any differently than erring on the side of caution. You got to be 100% sure that, you know, this is what you want to do and this is what you want to get involved in. I think that we're making a mistake.
1979, a massive revolution in Iran brought about the Ayatollah Khomeini to power. The then Shah of Iran and his wife, Her Imperial Majesty Farah Pahlavi, were forced out of their homeland. This is them leaving at the airport. But under the Ayatollahs, the freedom that they promised never materialized. In fact, they cracked down, beating and imprisoning women who refused to wear the hijab, gay Iranians, anyone who dissents. Now the son of the late Shah, His Royal Highness Reza Pahlavi, who has been in exile, is advocating for a new future for Iran. He says he believes that the moment is now. He posted this on social media, quote, "The Islamic Republic has reached its end. It is in the process of collapsing. Khamenei, like a frightened rat, has gone into hiding underground and has lost control of the situation. What has begun is irreversible." I spoke with him moments ago, the exiled Crown Prince of Iran. Here's our talk. Crown Prince, thank you very much for joining us at this historic moment in time. It's good to have you with us.
Good afternoon, Martha. Good to be with you as well.
Tell me, first of all, Crown Prince, what is your understanding of what is actually the situation on the ground right now in Iran?
The latest report that we have had, Martha, is that the control apparatus of the regime is almost collapsing. And we see more and more of that sort of reports that are coming to us from personnel within the military or intelligence that says so, that it's really falling apart much faster than it was, let's say, last week. The problem, however, is that the regime has cut off the nation from any communication. Internet and even landlines are down. Families that are trying to figure out what's happening to their loved ones cannot communicate. And I hope that we can overcome this problem very soon, so the nation is not detached or unable to communicate, which, as you know, is crucial for anything that needs to be done. The regime is so desperate that it's now taking this initiative to impede on the process. But I know we will overcome this. It's a big challenge. And my competitors are extremely resilient. Many of them have stood, in Tehran, besides those who have left the capital city. And their resolve is amazing. Their courage is really amazing. It's a shout out to them that
Trump already told people in Tehran to evacuate. So let me ask this other question really quickly, because I am adamantly against war. I am 100% against war unless it is the ultimate last result. So let me ask this to everybody else in the chat, because I dropped a clip the other day where I was basically kind of giving my thoughts on whether or not I agreed or disagreed with, and if I truly understood what the support for Israel is. And I think that everybody else is confused also, because I can't be the dullest knife in the tool shed, right? I think I got a pretty good grasp. I've been doing some research, and I've also contacted some different people that I think has a better understanding of what's going on, and they cannot all come to a conclusion, right? I've talked to this guy, I've talked to this guy, I've talked to this guy, and some people think it's because of our alliance or our allegiance to them based off of their support for different politicians. Other people believe that it is because of our spiritual tie and because of what we believe, as far as Israel and all of that other type of stuff, right? And then some other people was adding in some additional context. And it's funny because everybody that has a different perspective or a difference of opinion, they all, what's the words that I'm looking for here? They all disagree with each other as to why we support Israel, right? I see people in the chat right now. Shout out to the chat. There's people in the chat right now that everybody is saying a different thing. Some people are saying it's oil. Some people saying it's the banking system. Some people are saying this. Some people saying that. And it's funny because everybody got something that they think that they know, but nobody can definitively tell me why. Like, is it more than one reason? Is it multiple reasons why we love and support Israel? So much so to where we're willing to put ourselves at war on the behalf of it. Somebody who in the chat definitively thinks that they know why we support Israel. Because maybe I just don't know shit, all right? Of all of the things that I know, maybe I don't know shit. Who in the chat feels as though they know definitively why we love and support Israel so much? Gotta have a profile picture. You can't say it? Okay, well, if you can't say it, then what's the point of us having a discussion about it? What is okay, Mackie? What is up with you with this whole creamy thing, bro? You gonna get timed out in a minute. I don't know what your obsession is with calling Mika creamy. That shit is starting to get creepy. Starting to get a little creepy. Honestly. And it's a rabbit hole, says Molly. Don't need conspiracy when interests align. We helped Israel become a state in the 40s. Shit is getting creepy, bro. And let me give some other advice to the guys. All right, y'all want to know something? No, don't time them out. Don't time them out. Let me give some advice to my fellas out here. We got after hours tonight, so we're gonna get a little bit more spicy. I think Carrie might miss again, so we might be able to get out of control. Let me find out real quick. Before I start putting the subject matter together, I gotta find out if we can get a little bit more spicy tonight.
Hello?
Hey, Carrie, I'm on a live stream. I just got a quick question.
What's up?
Are you off tonight?
Waiting to see what my husband wants to do.
Hey Siri, stop. Huh?
What are you trying to do tonight?
No, I'm just asking if you're gonna be off or you gonna be on the live stream tonight.
For no reason.
Oh no, I'm asking so I can figure out different subjects because you are an expert. You are an expert in certain subjects, and or you give a different perspective on certain subjects, and then other things, I just hold off on certain things until you're there or not.
It has to do with this guy's creamy comment.
No, I don't care about no creamy comment. Why would I care about a creamy comment?
No, because I'm watching right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, just keep me in a loop. All right, bye. I don't know, gang. We might have to be on our best behavior. I don't know. Everybody that's a part of After Hours is so awesome. It's such a unique group of people. I love them. All of them is family. And you know what's so funny about After Hours? Everybody want to kick everybody off depending on how they feel about that person at the time. So sometimes y'all be extra simping out. Oh my God, I love Molly. She's so beautiful. I want to get at her. I can't wait. I want to know where she's at. Where's her cash at? And then other times, you know what? I can't believe that Monty is talking about this feminist nonsense. I don't like it. And so, they switch up on us. They like, our chat is bipolar. That's what I've learned. The chat here on the Millionaire Morning Show is more consistent. When y'all get to After Hours, I don't know if it's because it be late at night or what, they turn bipolar. I don't know if it's because of their sexual urges that they just start crashing out or what, but the chat turns bipolar at night. It just switch up. Real talk, it turned bipolar. Anyways, let's continue on with the show. Let me read some of these super chats. Double Jeopardy says, AD, did you see the mayor of LA, King Baldhead, Karen Bass, held a news conference to demand that Trump administration pay for all of the damages affected by the immigration riots in Los Angeles? We can talk about that. We'll talk about that right now. Casual Germ says it's even worse for the pathway to citizenship. They can serve in the military, deploy to war, lose a limb, and their mind and still not be considered a citizen. Krista Jackson says, no, Israel, you can't start something and expect us to jump in. I'm for Trump and the USA, not Israel. Obi-Wan, the homie, says it has nothing to do with Israel. Iran has been threatening the U.S. since Bush. Okay, let him keep threatening. That ain't got nothing to do with us. I don't get why he's listening. He's not listening to Tulsi. 392Q says Kamala wouldn't even think twice about supporting. They say Iran can't have nukes, but Israel got an illegal missile source, and Iran illegally can have them from the NPT Act. Israel pay politicians. That's why. David P. Magwood says, reach out to Andrew Bustamante, AD, former CIA. He can break it down. Would be great content. Mr. Jones says Stephen A. and Candace talked about why the U.S. supports Israel. Man, I don't believe that Stephen A. got a good grasp on why the United States of America supports Israel. Stephen A. just really started getting into politics. How would he know about international relations? I believe Candace Owens probably have a good grasp on it. But I think that Candace Owens also can be a bit biased when she doesn't like anybody, when she doesn't like somebody, which is why I have to take what she says with a grain of salt also. They apparently govern our foreign policies. Check it out. It's a really good combo. Shakur Nash says, busted. Myron got demonetized for talking on this subject, telling the real reason why we support them boys. I'll say his platform. I'll say join his platform and he can explain it. He came on After Hours and explained it, and that's one of the people that I use as a source. Connect with Candace Owens on Israel. Make sure y'all hit a like for the algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. Shout out to Truck and Blueprint says just stop by to show support for the platform. Thank you, Truck, and I appreciate you also. I need my reparations since billions are being spent. Yeah, good luck with that, big dog. Skinny Boy Django says, thank you, Anton, for adding value to my life. I'm an old man and I'm starting to buy stocks for Fidelity. Much respect. I like that. I like that. Shout out to all of the new bag chasers. Shout out to everybody running it up. All right, y'all, let's go over and get over to the next thing. What did I say that we was going to talk about next? The riots? I said I was going to talk about the riots, right? Oh, first we got to do this. If we're going to talk about the riots, and we got to share this first. All right. Let's go here.
Overnight, President Trump gets a big win in a California courtroom. He will keep control over the thousands of National Guard troops deployed to L.A. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says the president, quote, likely acted within his authority to federalize those troops. In their decision, the judges cited growing violence at last week's anti-ICE protests, including protesters pinning down federal officers, throwing chunks of concrete, and forcing the closure of at least one federal building. The judges say the law Trump used to deploy the guardsmen without the governor's approval doesn't require the governor's consent, and that Governor Newsom has no power to veto or countermand the president's order. Now, Governor Newsom says that while the ruling went against him, it does show the president must answer to the courts. Newsom is now considering taking the case even higher.
Do you see how dumb our politicians are, bro? Y'all see how dumb our politicians are? It was already dumb for them to spend money to bring this lawsuit in the first place. When we seen Gavin Newsom, and I reviewed that on this channel, and Gavin Newsom was sitting there and he was saying, yeah, man, we're going to go and we're going to, sue the Trump administration for deploying National Guards into Los Angeles in order to stop them from rioting, because they were rioting. They were not peaceful protesting. And you can't incite people to riot more by protecting federal buildings. Let's be clear. If a person is going to do something negative, they're not going to see a National Guardsman or a Marine and say, oh my God, you guys have pissed me off even more. Now I'm really going to tear up the city. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. You can't incentivize people by protecting federal buildings and saying, yeah, man, you made them riot even more. No, these is demons. These is demons. So they stood tall and they protect the federal buildings. And then Gavin Newsom came through and said, I'm going to sue the Trump administration and all of this other shit. And he's posturing. What they don't tell y'all, the Jasmine Crockett's, the Gavin Newsoms, all of these people, the Karen Basses and all of those people, what they don't tell y'all is that all of these lawsuits, they have lost. When they initially get a judge to do something, oh man, you got to stop the layoffs of the USAID members. You can't have the Department of Government Efficiency auditing the federal government. You can't deploy the National Guard in order to protect federal buildings in Los Angeles. And they filed hundreds of lawsuits against the Trump administration. Trump has literally won all of them. When they kick it up to a higher appeals court, Trump has control and he has won all of them. And so you never see Democrats come back and say, you know what? We wasted our time. We filed these lawsuits. We was wrong. You never see them come back and actually say that they were off, they were wrong, they didn't make the right decision, and none of that stuff. You know what you see them say? They just move over to the next lawsuit. They continue to use taxpayer dollars to go after even more, and it's the dumbest thing ever. So while Gavin Newsom was sitting there telling you that he's going to sue the Trump administration, and Trump wins, and he can continue to control the National Guard, and so Trump has to do the best thing for the American people, all of these Democrats are just posturing. They're just posturing. That's it.
He wrote, quote, "The president is not a king and is not above the law."
That's why you see these no king protests, is because these politicians are giving them the narrative that they've been used for propaganda and to print their signs. And then next thing you know, you got a no kings protest across the United States of America. And you know what they still doing? Deporting niggas, getting them up out of here. Getting them up out of there. Maria. Every time that we let me get a song. My boy Carlos Santana. Let me get a song popping in this bitch. I'm going to start playing that from now on. Every time I see Trump deport an illegal migrant, every time I see Trump deport an illegal migrant, that's what I'm going to play from now on. Maria. That's what I'm going to start playing. I'm not going to keep on messing around with y'all. That is what I'm going to start playing from now on. When I see Trump deport an illegal migrant out of the United States of America, we go in here. That's what I'm playing from now on. Because I'm tired of people capping. I'm tired of people pretending like they don't know what's going on and they know exactly what's going on. Let me get back to the show.
We will press forward with our challenge to President Trump's authoritarian use of U.S. military soldiers against citizens. Right now, there are at least 4,000 troops and 700 Marines deployed in L.A. Meanwhile, the president's immigration crackdown led to a tense scene at Dodger Stadium Thursday morning. Dozens of federal officers in masks and tactical gear were positioned right outside the gate. A small group of protesters quickly gathered as well. The Dodgers posted on X saying ICE agents came to the stadium and requested permission to access the parking lots, but were denied entry. DHS responded to that post, claiming this had nothing to do with the Dodgers. They say CBP vehicles were in the stadium parking lot very briefly, but it was unrelated to any operation or.
Let me see something. FBI is saying that they're going to investigate who's funding these riots and these protests anyway.
I'm Bill Asaley, United States Attorney for the Central District of California.
And I'm Akil Davis, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Los Angeles Field Office.
And I'm Tyler Hatcher, the Special Agent in charge of IRS criminal investigation here in Los Angeles.
The right to assemble and protest peacefully is protected by law. Unfortunately, we've seen individuals whose intentions are to cause damage and to assault law enforcement. For example, last week, we arrested an individual who was charged with conspiracy to commit and aiding and abetting civil disorders. These violent agitators put peaceful demonstrators at risk.
The FBI and our federal partners will continue to investigate individuals and organizations who are knowingly funding or committing acts of violence against law enforcement, as well as the destruction of property.
We are currently tracing money to determine who is providing funding for these riots. Funding crime doesn't just affect the criminals, it also disrupts entire communities. Each dollar funneled into illegal operations fuels violence, undermines law and order, and perpetuates fear. Make no mistake, we will identify and disrupt financial networks supporting these criminal activities.
Think before you act. The legal consequences for financing or aiding and abetting these crimes are harsh. They include imprisonment and fines.
If you have any information regarding individuals and/or organizations providing financial support to commit acts of violence or destruction of property, please dial 1-800-CALL-FBI or visit tips.fbi.gov.
They got to start sending some money out in order to be able to get these people. They do. They got to start sending some money out. That's the only way that you're going to really be able to capture these people. They probably got shell company after shell company after shell company after shell company. Y'all said Karen Bass said that Trump should pay. State of the Union, Karen Bass, State of the Union.
Hi, Mr. Wonderful here.
Let me see something. When did she say that? I don't see it. I don't see her saying that. When did she say that Trump should pay? I don't see it. Cost of protest. Where did y'all see that at?
We're joined now by the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen. We're joined now by the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass. I think this is your first time in studio live on our 6 o'clock show, so it's great to have you here.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right. So what do you know about what happened at Dodger Stadium today?
Well, you know what, Alex? This is the problem. We don't know. Officers are just showing up. We don't even know what type of officers they are. They're masked, as you saw. They don't present their ID. It said Border Patrol. Are they Border Patrol? Are they ICE? Are they Federal Protective Services? It is a sense of confusion and chaos. Our police department, our police chief, had no knowledge of this.
So is there something that can be done to ensure that people have to present IDs or badges if somebody is arresting somebody?
Well, you know what? That is supposed to be what happens, but we're in a situation where people are not exactly following the rules, are following what had been normal protocols.
Right. So, and is that also the protocol for the LAPD?
Yes, the LAPD absolutely has to show you their ID. And so you can just imagine the confusion that presents and also the bad position that puts our police department in, because they're called out to defend the situation and they're not even sure what's going on. Why were they there? Were they staging because they were getting ready to do raids? Were they there because they wanted to do processing? They didn't even notify the Dodgers. They just showed up.
So we know that during the
Well, ICE now comes back and says that they actually had to get their vehicles out of the Dodger Stadium parking lot. So that is one of the things. The problem with what Karen Bass is saying, which she doesn't admit, is that they've already said, these sanctuary cities have already said that they're not going to work with ICE. So number one, they then can be preventative as far as trying to prevent them from being able to do their job. They don't have a good history of being able to work together, and they're actually against ICE. And how do we know that they won't then help migrants, illegal migrants, continue to do whatever it is that they do once you actually contact them and tell them, hey, this is what we're going to, if you say that you're not going to work with us, then why should they continue to hold you down? You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. It's so interesting looking at them pour this concrete and build this building. Shout out to all of the people that is out here building the United States of America. I gotta show y'all this shit real quick. Look at the workers out there hustling, grinding. And they everywhere. All down there, over there, they all on the ground. Look at all of that down there. Look at all of that. Shout out to the construction workers, bro. They really do get to it. They got the big old crane right there. And they're pouring all of that or whatever that they got going on over there. It's crazy. Then you got the crane operators right there. Then you got a crane operator all the way up in there. See my man down there working. All of these guys are regular people. None of these people are illegal. These are all union workers, actually. It's pretty tripped out to see how they building this hotel. This is going to be a hotel right next to it. And that's the city. That's Detroit, all the way around there. All of that is Detroit. So, shout out to all of the construction workers that's grinding. To see it going up every day is crazy. Anyways, let's get back to this video.
Fires, you were public about the fact that you had a good working relationship with Susie Wiles, who was the White House chief of staff. Are you talking to her about any of this?
Well, actually, in the beginning, I did, but recently I haven't been. I also know that she's been very focused on the foreign policy right now. But yes, I mean, if you think about the fires, and you heard me say a number of times, and it's a controversial thing to say in Los Angeles, but give credit where credit's due, the administration was very supportive in terms of in the Palisades, which is the only area that I'm focused on, in terms of getting us a tremendous number of Army Corps of Engineers so that we could get the debris cleared. Now we're in this situation that is completely perplexing to me. I mean, why are we here?
We don't have any illegals on that bill. It's zero illegals on that bill. These are all union contractors. I actually know the owner of this building and that build that's building a hotel. It's the same. They're the same owners. They use the same construction company. There are zero illegals that is on this site. Zero. It's all white men, black men. Basically, it's all black and white men, honestly. Skilled tradesmen, union members, all of that. There are zero illegals that's on a property right here.
Talk to Stephen Miller?
No, I've never spoken to Stephen Miller.
So if you call the White House, do they call you back?
I put in a formal request to speak to the president. I've not spoken to them yet. But really, this has created a sense of fear and terror in our city. And it's having such an incredible toll. It's having a toll on the economy. It's having a political toll in terms of creating confusion. And it's having a real personal toll in terms of families.
Well, let's talk about the economy, because you visited some of these businesses downtown. And I know some of them told you that the situation is worse than COVID, because essentially they got a situation where their employees are afraid to come to work.
That's right.
Right. And some of their customers are afraid to come as well. And people are afraid to come to downtown at all because they think there's going to be chaos.
That's right. But we need to be very clear. There has not been chaos downtown for several days.
Right.
And the last time there were arrests, it was on Sunday. There have been nothing happening. It was the business community that appealed to the city hall to say, please give us a curfew. We did it. And the minute the rest went away, we lifted the curfew, and hopefully that will help the traffic downtown.
So, let's talk about the curfew in a second, but just in terms of the business impact on Los Angeles, because I know we already had a budget challenge in terms of money going into this. What are you seeing and what are you doing about that?
Well, let me just give you an example. The Garment District, 4,000 independent businesses. It's a ghost town. I was in Mariachi Plaza on Father's Day. I visited restaurants. No one was there. You know, there should have been lines out in front. And so we have to make sure that people know their rights. But the bottom line is that the chaos that has been created by the administration. We were fine before the raids. Once the raids started, that's when chaos started. And it seems to be unprovoked. I don't know what led to them focusing on us, but I do feel like we're a part of an experiment. What happens when the federal government rolls up in a state and decides to take power away from the governor?
So this is how I look at this, all right? Because, of course, you're going to have a bunch of liberals that say, well, our businesses are being affected. All right. So let's put it in this lens. And I'm going to apply this to illegal migrants, right? Let's say, hypothetically, for the sake of conversation, that the dope boys is supplying and demand, and you got dope dealers, and you got all of these people that are running dope in and out of the hood, and the theft rings, and the chop shops is working, and the distributors and all of this stuff, right? Which that then funds an economy of police officers, because then you'll have search and seizures, you'll have arrests, you can then use crime data and statistics, break-in, so on and so forth, to then justify a bigger police presence inside of the hood and inside of the cities or inside of the neighborhoods that are being taken over by dope boys, right? If the police presence then comes in, right? Because the police could be on payroll and all of that stuff, right? If the feds come in and shut everything down, they get tough on crime, and they arrest all of the dope boys, there's going to be people in the community that says, we don't want that police presence. As a matter of fact, it's affecting what it is that we have going on here inside of our hood. It's a lot of people that was feeding their families. It was a lot of money that was circulating inside of the hood. They're going to gentrify it and bring people in order to try to make it better and run the people that are inherently in the hood out of the hood. Now, the people that's in the hood, that's all they know, because that's all they used to. And so, they're going to be angry at police officers, and that's when you start to get the no snitching, fuck the police and all of that. But ultimately, we want our communities better. We want people that are actually taxpayers. You want to increase the value of your property and land. You want better schools. You want people to do the things the right way. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to get tough on crime. You got to root out the core of the problem. And so you got to get rid of all of the people. You got to do your drug buys. You got to work your way up. You got to do all of this stuff, right? You got to get convictions, everything. But what am I saying? My point is that me, from a C student's perspective, I look at this as the same way. Los Angeles, for example, has largely been dependent on illegal activity, mainly people coming over here across the border, doing things that they're not supposed to do. And then they then use that as a justification. Well, all of the money is coming in. Well, if the cartel continues to fill people with money, if the cartel is, for example, keeping up an economy where it's not right, but it just continues to funnel money into it because we got to have jobs or we got to keep this thing up just because we need the money, is it right though? And do we need to have a reset inside of the United States of America so that we can do it? If you got a bunch of people that set this market, because they had that raid at the market the other day, right? At the swap meet. And you had all of these illegals that's over there selling illegal stuff that's not paying taxes. Because whenever you go to a swap meet, whenever you go to, all of these places, it's a cash exchange. It's not a 1-for-1. It's never a 1-for-1. So you got people selling stuff that's off the books, making money, sending money back to their people. And if they all illegal and they all doing illegal activity, really because they shouldn't be here in the first place, is that actually a great economy that we can sustain ourselves off of? Or do we need to reset so that we're doing the best thing for the American people? So what she's trying to justify is saying, oh, no, we was just fine with our economy and everything was going the way that it was going, even though that was $1 billion in the hole before they came. But since they started arresting people that's not supposed to be here, everything is quiet. Well, that's because California has largely been an illegal state, and Los Angeles has been a safe haven for people that are doing stuff that they're not supposed to do. And so, no, you got to play by the same rules that everybody else got to play by, and you got to do the right thing. You can't keep justifying economies. I look at Texas, and let me tell you, one of the things that I hate about Texas, I'll be on Instagram and I'll be scrolling, and then I'll see some super massive fucking property that they're selling for $390,000. and it'll be right there on the border of Mexico. In some bumblefucks part of Texas, right on the border of Mexico, right? And we all know, everybody know, even the people in Texas know, it's cheaper and bigger in Texas because we got more land. No, nigga, that ain't true. It's because y'all out here using illegal migrants to build your houses. That's why it's cheaper. Because you refuse to pay, what do they call it? A livable wage. So nobody is absolved. Even red states are not absolved. And when you see some of this stuff play out, you got to start looking at it with the side eye. Wait a minute. Why are they building it so much faster? And why are they doing it cheaper? Because they're using illegal labor and they're using people that's not supposed to be here and they're paying under the table, and these companies is getting away with murder. They getting away with murder. So when I see this type of stuff, I just call it out like it is. No, nigga, it ain't bigger and better in Texas. Dog, you using illegal migrants in order to build your properties. You got Jorge and them out there pouring concrete and throwing up them properties fast as hell because they ain't got no protections. They ain't got no health care and they ain't got no benefits, and they throwing that shit up because they at Home Depot, and you got Miguel over there at Home Depot laying towel in the bathroom, and you circumventing the process. Then they go in there and they do an inspection, and I see the inspections on Instagram and TikTok, and they go in and they say, look, it's still nails sticking out, unhammered. The foundation be fucked up. I don't even know how they get away with some of that stuff that they be doing. They don't do better quality work. They just work fast. That is a lie. They don't listen. They don't do better quality work. They just work fast. That's the difference. It's not better. It's not sustainable. And then you go and buy a house and you can't understand why it's breezes coming in, water leaking. You get mad because they didn't hired all of these illegal people to come in here and do it, and they didn't even do the things that they were supposed to do. And then they pay off the city inspectors, and they pay off not the inspectors, people that pull the permits that didn't validate it to get a green sticker. I've gotten it all the way down to where it takes me 9 to 10 months to build a home from scratch. From pulling the permit, but it take longer than that because I got to go before the board, get a variance to be able to expand the footprint, be able to do all of this and whatever. And I got crews working all day, every day. How you able to get that house up so goddamn fast? How you able to circumvent the process? And the inspectors be on your ass. Hey man, is this done? Is this done? We'll make sure. Oh no, y'all didn't do that. They be on you, and that's cool. And I'm with it. That's because when we finally get it done, it's going to be done right, and we don't have to worry about the same things that other people would have to worry about. It ain't going to be no finesse. We ain't got to worry about nobody doing all of this stuff. But they just using cheap labor in all of these places. And so, they finessing. And if y'all really against corporate America continuing to take advantage of the consumer, then you would be against these companies hiring people to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. When it's an even playing field, how do we do it? Y'all said it. Texas was collapsing. Some of those houses was collapsing in Texas because of the snowstorm. Trash houses, garbage. And then they make them pretty by putting nice finishing on it. They spend the money on the finishings. They spend the money on that other stuff, but they don't actually spend the money to build the property out the way that it's supposed to be built. That ain't quality. It's just big and it's trash. That's why them houses don't stand up. Trash. Getting windows from China and just garbage materials, garbage work, garbage everything. So I don't mind paying a little bit more. I don't mind taking a little bit more time to find the right people. I know that the money is circulating inside of my state, inside of my community, that it's not being sent back over to Mexico. I also know that, people are sustaining their families. I know I'm getting a great quality product by a person that is authorized to be on the work site. I know that the person that is doing the work is licensed, bonded, and insured. and then I can come back or whatever. I've never had a problem with anything that they did on the property. And so I trust them. I trust Americans to do the work that they're supposed to do because they're here legally. They're here legally. And so I don't trust some of these motherfuckers. I don't. Take me about anywhere between 10 months to a year to build a house from scratch. And so now you just change the process. Okay, well, I'm gonna build two to three at a time. Build the Democratic Party, reach out to these countries to help create chaos against Trump. Look around. Shout out to you. Obi-Wan, the homie, says, what do you mean let them keep threatening? Iran has already acted on threats before. So you in support of war. You in support of actually bombing these people, right? Just Christian says, did you see the video about the watermelon and Juneteenth cakes at Kroger? I swear one said us free. I had to look twice. Thanks, Biden and Harris. No, I haven't seen anything about that. Abe the Hunter says, Israel said that if you don't follow them, you don't follow God. So they are going to cause the world to burn. I don't believe in none of that. Blakester says, shout out to Anton and the Millionaire Morning Show. 2, Adigan says, Dems will have to hold on libs. My pops text me last night. Guy with the word autocrat in his definition saying that's what Trump was. Almost fell out. Delusional mindset for propaganda. Shout out to Slim. He says, y'all getting timed out for typing in all caps tonight on After Hours. Shout out to Slimmy. We was having a time last night. Time be flying by so fast, and we be keeping people through their shift. What we talking about next, y'all? Have y'all heard about the Water Boys? Oh, have y'all heard about that Bellevue pimp sentenced 35 years for trafficking and boasting on social media? Uh-huh. I got to check this out. Give me a second. Let me show y'all this real quick.
This all started out as a routine patrol call where a couple of officers thought something didn't quite look right. That led to prosecutors saying they were able to take down a vicious pimp who was abusing a woman and selling her for sex work while keeping the money for himself.
So trying to tell me leave alone?
On social media,
It's trying to tell me leave money alone.
Cedric Dorsey painted himself as a pimp.
Why I'm a pimp?
With money, swagger, and influence.
SCCC 333.
But investigators say his lifestyle was built by forced sex work, as Dorsey trafficked a woman into prostitution in Seattle, Bellevue, Kent, and Las Vegas. It all came undone in 2024 when Bellevue police responded to a domestic violence call involving Dorsey and his victim.
They listened to what that victim was telling them and realized things weren't just adding up for her and what she was saying, and that she was in a very dangerous situation.
Bellevue Police Major Ellen Inman says patrol officers noticed signs of trafficking and called detectives.
When you ask them questions, they're answering repeatedly in these kind of scripted or answers that sound like they're rehearsed. When they served the search warrant on his premise, they recovered $12,000 in cash.
All right, so before we get into the rest of this story, before we get into the actual morality of it, what the fuck is wrong with y'all on social media bragging and talk? What are you getting? If you're doing illegal activity, this is one of the reasons why I feel so comfortable showing my bank account, talking my talk, saying what I say, because I don't have to worry about anything, because there's nothing that I can't justify that I'm actually doing. You know what I'm saying? In real life, I actually get 1099s and all of that stuff, right? If you selling drugs, if you pimping women, all of this stuff, what the hell are y'all doing on social media? What is wrong with y'all? Why are you flossing? Have y'all not watched American Gangster? You know how Frank got caught? When he wore the coat that the wife bought him, the chinchilla, to the boxing match. Why are y'all on social media going live, showing people what you got going on, and you not even on the up and up, and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. What is wrong with y'all? Don't y'all know that it's people that got out of the game years ago, over a decade ago, because they started seeing other pimps getting all of these football numbers, that they switched the laws a long time ago? And most of the people that's getting arrested today, they're not getting arrested for regular stuff no more. The dope boys, the pimps, all of these people, anybody that was doing any crime, domestic violence and stuff like that, now everybody, have y'all noticed this? It don't matter if you're a celebrity or you a local person that was just flossing too much on social media. Did y'all know that everybody is getting 2 charges? RICO and trafficking. Running a criminal organization or moving something or somebody across state lines that they wasn't supposed to be with in the first place. Everybody is getting football numbers, and they throw in trafficking on everybody. Trafficking of drugs and narcotics, trafficking of fentanyl, trafficking of people, RICO, generating profit so that you can run a criminal organization. They are throwing blanket charges on y'all, and they giving y'all 20, 30, 40, 50 years. You're never going to get out of prison ever a day in your life. They are not fucking around. They changed the game a long time ago, which is what gave rise to women being independent contractors and selling box online and now on OnlyFans and all of this stuff. That's the reason why women start going out on their own, is because the smart ones was like, you know what? I'm going to move around and I'm going to do something different because I'm not trying to go to jail for the rest of my life because the game ain't the game no more. I remember they had this documentary back in the day, and it was called Pimp Up, Hoes Down, I think. It's called Pimp Up, Hoes Down. And they was having the annual ball, and it was hosted by the who's who, and the pimps was coming in, and they was on some, you from Detroit, you running Detroit, you running Chicago, and I'm over here in Oakland, and the pimps is pimping, and hey man, it ain't my game, man. If she chose me, and from Memphis, if she chose me, I don't, and they started documenting it. Yo, family, we don't do no gorilla pimping, because if you got a pimp with your hands, that means you ain't pimping with your mind, player. And if you can get her with your hands, we don't believe in having to put our hands on them. It's okay to pimp a little bit and make sure that you discipline her, because if she getting out of line, and that means that the other ones is going to see her and they going to feel like they can do the same thing, partner player. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, we pimp here. Gorilla pimping just ain't our thing. That's just too messy. It's too messy. The money don't move the same way. She walking around with bats and bruises on her eyes and on her legs, and don't nobody want to pay top dollar for no woman that got no got no bruises on her body. And so we got to make sure that we step our game up. And these new cats, these news players, they just want to put their hands on the women. They don't understand the game. We just gonna move a little bit different. That's what they was talking about on the if you go and watch it, Iceberg Slim, all of that, them books and all of that shit. That's what they was doing. It. We don't do that. If your hoe is on a stroll and she choose me, then that's just what it is. That's what the game was. And so your game had to be strong as acid. Game had to be strong as acid. Listen, I am a man that has been around for some years. I've seen some things. We've been around the block. We've done some things. And so now you're getting the full package. We don't know what we're going to say. We don't know if we're going to be talking about them dude getting arrested for trafficking. And then now, we got to recall all of our memory from, it's like a limitless pill. You recall all of your memory from the things that you watched as you was growing up and experiencing life. And that's the way it was. That's the way it was. Even in approaching women. And that's why I say the game is fucked up now. That's why the game is messed up now, because even without that, right? Even when it came to approaching women, I don't think that the people got enough reps in. These new dudes, they don't understand it. They just get on the phone and copy and paste. Hey, beautiful, grand rising. Next woman. Hey, beautiful, grand rising. I seen you online. I was wondering what city you from. Hey, beautiful, grand rising. Seen you online. I'm wondering what city you from. Hey, beautiful, grand rising. Seen you online. What city you from? Hey, beautiful, grand rising. Seen you online. What city you from? Hey, I sent you a cash app. 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 And so that's what they call getting reps in. It's different from what we grew up. And that's why y'all don't understand. So you say, man, Anton talk all of that shit. I talk my shit, nigga, and I can back it up. Because she choosing and she choosing up. Because we had to do it differently. We played the game. The game was a day without a number. You had to actually go up to a woman and introduce yourself. And you was nervous as hell when you first did it. Excuse me, what's your name? You got a boyfriend? Oh, so he care if you have any friends? That's what you said when you was in middle school, right? By the time you got to high school, you was seasoned. You know what I'm saying? By the time you got to 11th, 12th grade, you would have to go to the mall, approach women. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What's your name? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. And then you let her come over and say, well, no. What did you want? What was going on? You really want to know? And then you start the conversation. You learn how to be a conversationalist instead of a line thrower. You know what I'm saying? The line throwers were the ones that was new to the game. The conversationalists was the ones that knew how to hold their attention for more than 2 minutes, which then linked them to wanting to bust it down. But you learn, okay, well, listen, I don't need to talk to her for any longer than 2 to 3 minutes. Why is that? Because she already chose. Why would I have to talk myself out of the pussy? Leave her alone. Hey, listen, let me take your number down. You didn't carry a pen with you anymore because you didn't want her to think that you was getting everybody else's number. You learn how to use props, right? What is props? Props were when you would have kids, right? Kids used to be a weapon. I took my little niece to the mall with me. Let her run over. Hey, run over there, tap her on the grab her by the skirt real quick. Oh, girl, what my bad. Oh my God, she's so cute. How old is she? Oh, she just learned how to. That's not even my daughter, but you know what I'm saying? I try to take care of my niece. I try to be a good uncle and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Because her dad is in the military. That's my homeboy though. Oh my God, she's so cute. You just saying that. You learn how to be a conversationalist. You learn how to use props. You leverage what you leverage what you had to take advantage of what was going on. Girls then liked girl dads or what they thought was going to be a girl dad. And so you learn to use props. You learn to use things. You know what I'm saying? Everything wasn't so overt. It wasn't so in your face. It wasn't in your face. Everything was a little bit different back then. So, you know, the game was a little bit different. And that is what then geared us up to be able to talk online. It gave us the ability to be able to communicate more effectively in corporate America. We knew that if we could master the game when it came to people, you know, on a cold call, because that's all it was. Going up to a woman was cold calling. It's the same as going into a business and trying to sell them on, hey, man, you need to upgrade your internet package. It was the same thing as far as going up to women. If you can get a woman cold turkey, then you can go and sell a business. You can sell any fucking thing in the world. Anything in the world. So that's what it was. The game was different back then. Now the game didn't change. And so you leverage the technology and you're more lethal. Just way more lethal with it. It's just way more lethal. For these new niggas that's out here, can't wait to throw it online and sell their lifestyle, and you doing something that you ain't supposed to do, boy, you're going to get football numbers.
Along with those 3 firearms, one of which was stolen and a banned firearm.
King County prosecutors hit Dorsey with charges of human trafficking, promoting prostitution, and unlawful possession of a firearm.
We see very significant violence, strangulation, beatings, assaults.
Prosecutor Brayla McGinnis tried Dorsey's case where his own social media posts were used as evidence, including this one about the 304 oath, where prostitutes promise not to cooperate with police and say they aren't victims.
One of the biggest rules of the game is not to talk to police. It is that idea of selling the dream, right?
Moses says, Anton, you're messing up the game. No, I'm not. AD, you fucking up the game. It ain't to be told. You know why I'm not messing up the game? It's just like giving somebody a good idea. It's not like they're going to go out there and get their reps up anyway. It's not like they're going to actually go out there and do nothing with it. It's not like they're going to all of a sudden start getting out, making sure they did. Because, see, the game was more of what you did. It was the pregame. It had nothing to do with whether or not, once you got up to the point to where you actually was approaching a girl, that was the last 5%. That was the last 3%. All of the stuff that happened before that, you had to get your car clean and get some armor all on it. It was smelling good. You got your hair cut. You was fresh. Your breath smelled good. Your teeth was brushed. You made sure that your gear was tight. Your shoes was clean. We cleaned our shoes with a toothbrush. All of the stuff that was pregame to get up to it before you ever got to the spot, before we drove over to Belle Isle, before we was driving down 7 Mile, before that, everything was pristine. You had your pull-out radio in your car. All of your stuff was straight. You know what I'm saying? You had your tracks picked out. Your playlist was right. All of that stuff. So it don't even matter. It don't matter what you tell people. I can tell people I do it every day. Hey man, this is how you get rich. This is how you do it. This is the consistency. This is what's happening. This is how you do it. Ain't nobody the 1% is going to do it. The 1% of the 1% is going to do it. The rest of them is going to be like, man, that's crazy. So it don't matter how much game you give them. You got to get your reps up because you still got to get in the gym. You can tell somebody all of the perfect form. Hey man, straight up, follow through, spread your fingers, rotate your wrists. You know what I'm saying? You got to do this. You got to do that. Nigga, when you get on the court, you're going to look like an idiot. You still ain't shot the shot. You still ain't putting up the jumpers. You still ain't in the gym every day. So when it's time to perform and when the spotlight is on, it's going to be a difference between the haves and the have-nots. It don't make no difference. It's going to be the same no matter what. No matter what. That's what I don't like your Coogee sweater. Nigga, my Coogee sweater is a prop. When they see me in the streets, they see you, nigga, you got the standard uniform of a YN. I come in and they be like, damn, you rocking that shit. I remember when we used to have that. Damn, you still got that? They know the cost of my sweater, nigga. They know my sweater is between $600 and $1,000 per sweater. I ain't got to say it. I ain't got to say it because I already know. Damn. Okay, And when I walk in, when I come to sit in my seat, I'm the star. Nigga, you got the standard uniform on. I'm a motherfucking star because I know how to stand out. I know how to get people attention. I know how to be a conversationalist. I know what to put on so that she feel comfortable getting my attention so that she know I'm going to speak to her, and then that's going to generate the conversation going from there. I ain't got to, you don't know because you don't know. You don't know what clothes to pick. You don't know where to go. Nigga, you wear Miri jeans, nigga, and the same shit that Chrome Hearts. You a Chrome Heart kid. You a Chrome Heart kid. I ain't got to do that shit. Because if you don't get it, you don't get it. You're going to miss it no matter what.
Saying
you just like him. You this nigga right here. You him.
Have these nice things. If you come with me, you can have all of this, right? And when you're talking to someone who has had a very rough upbringing or a very troubled life, that's the vulnerability that they exploit.
That's the way I look at social media and the use of different ways that people advertise their criminal activity, is that if you make it available for the Bellevue Police Department, in this case, to access and use as part of our lawful investigation, then that's what we will do.
After being found guilty at trial this spring, Dorsey is now starting a 35-year prison sentence.
We were able to take a very dangerous criminal off the street and hold him accountable for his actions.
Dummy. Now he's going to be facing 35 years in jail. They don't know about betrayal, Andre. They don't know nothing about this, bro. This is way above their pay grade. Way above their pay grade. They all look the same. All of these niggas got spiky hair. They got the YN kid. They got tipped dreads, blonde tipped dreads, and these niggas breath stink. They got blonde tipped dreads and they breath stink. They don't know how to stand out. This nigga's gonna be doing 35 years for no reason, just because he wanted to overfloss on the internet. 35 years. 35 years. Dummy. Dummy. Absolute stupid. So dumb. Showcase Classics, no. He already know when I come in, all his little girl co-workers. I know all of the cute ones. I know all of them. Hey, Anton, how you doing? And meanwhile, it'd be all of the thirsty niggas around. Yeah, man, she's so bad, dog. Man, I don't know why they keeps me. I don't overextend myself. What's up, baby? Hey, what's happening? How you doing? How's everything going? I heard you got a new house the other day. Okay. You kick it and you keep it moving. You kick it and you keep it moving. You don't have to do all of that extra. They know. They know who is and who ain't. They know. They already know. I know your co-workers be talking, oh my God, that's Anton. He's so nice. Hey, Anton, you coming to my table? I gotta say nothing. They know. They already know. I gave you my card the other day. Why you ain't contact me? I was trying to see if I can have a conversation. I gave you my card the other day. Oh, my bad. I got your card. I forgot. I left it in my other jeans. I sent them to the cleaners. Yeah, give me your card. No, when you're on your break, just come back and kick it with me. Okay. I get off at 7. No, I get off at 2. I get off at 7. Oh yeah, you're gonna be working on the weekend too? I know I'm off this weekend. I'm off this weekend. They be cute. They cute. I see your co-workers, they cute. Just keep moving. You just got to keep moving. It's all about motion, big dog. It's all about motion. Anyways, what we talking about next? Let me read some of these super chat. Kenwood, big dog. Kenwood was always the move, all right? Let me tell you why Kenwood. Alpine usually was the one that most people picked, and this is why. Most people matched their stereos with their speakers. So back then, what we had was, all right, so now I got to get y'all the game. Now I got to familiarize y'all a little bit. Back then, what we had was this. Your speakers had to match your pullout, right? And then they had the face-offs. Some people got lazy and they would put their pullouts under their seat. But here was the key, though. You had 8s, 10s, 12s, and 15s, right? And so you had to get your speaker box custom made to be able to fit inside of your trunk if you was the real one. And then you had to go and get your amp, and then you get your pullout or whatever, so on and so forth. So they don't know nothing about that. They didn't know nothing about that. And if you was real dope, if you really had it going on, then you had your tweeters built into your box. But you didn't want to have too much bass because niggas that had their trunk rattling kind of fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? It's still like that, Royal Heart? Okay, I didn't know. I'm pretty stock on most of the stuff that I do now. Yeah, we are old. We are old. But you know what the thing about it is, though, TM? You know what the thing about it, though, is? They love us old niggas. They love us. We are the superstars now, bro. See, what young dudes don't understand, because see, we the stars with money and we got the game. And so we like perfectly aged. We are perfectly aged, bro. Man, let me tell you something, bro. All demographics of women, black, white, young, old, nigga, we won. We won, bro. Honest to God, dog. That's what I be trying to tell my homies and stuff, right? Like the dudes in the chat and stuff like that. We won. We won, bro. Like, we perfectly seasoned. We got all of the fucking money. We got the opportunity. We got the game. We was born in the perfect era. There will never be another generation as great as us, bro. We are the winners, bro. We survive. If you survived and you here today and you got you a little career, you got some motion, you trying to put it together, it's cool. We gonna always be able to upgrade and be better versions of ourselves, but we won, bro. For all of my guys out here, for all of the guys, it don't matter if you're from Baltimore, Detroit, New York, Los Angeles, man, if you pass the age of 32, 33, 34, 35 years old, and you was able to survive, I don't care where you are in your life, dog. You are 2 steps, 3 steps away from being perfect, nigga. You won. You won in life. You survived the hood. You survived your single baby mama. You survived your mother. You survived the trenches. You survived church. You survived the Democrat Party. And you getting money now and you perfectly seasoned. All we got to do is fine tune. Okay, let's get in the gym then, my nigga. Let's change our diet. Let's change the way we see life. Let's change this, the way the people that we hang around, and let's not you know what I'm saying? Let's not let them hold us down or whatever, bro. We won, nigga. We won. There is nothing that's stopping us. Nothing. Nobody. We at the age now where we ain't simping. You know what I'm saying? We at the age where it's like, I choose you because you already chose first. They fucking shooting. They shot at us. We survived. We won, nigga. We got all of the game. We got all of the fucking money. And it's only up from here because our earning potential don't even reach its apex until our early 60s. Nigga, we about to be on a generational run. I'm just fucking getting started, bro. I'm just getting started. And they love our style. They love our style. We ain't got to fit in. We just got to stand out. We ain't got to make a lot of noise, nigga. We just got to move. When we get up, the room shift. And if you don't believe that within yourself, then you need to really come to the conclusion and figure it out for yourself, bro, because you won. We won at life. Life owes us the game. We won at everything, bro. There has never been a better time to be a successful black man in his 40s in 2025 in the United States of America. There's never been a better time to be a black man in the United States of America in his late 30s, early 40s, 50s in the United States of America. I don't care what, listen, bro, this is what y'all got to start doing. And this is what guys got to really start coming up to the conclusion of. Stop comparing yourself to another man, bro. It's something unique about you that makes you awesome. Okay, so that nigga tall and you short. Nigga, you got a great beard and you got money. That ain't your enemy. He your ally. That's your homeboy. That's your homeboy. Real talk. So he light skinned, you dark skinned. Some chicks love the Drake type nigga. Some chicks love the Idris Elbas. Nigga, we just walk different. I don't like it when dudes hate on other dudes. They dirty mac them. They talk negative about them and all of this stuff. No, we not doing that, no, bro. We not going against each other. We united. We might have different philosophies. We may have different perspectives on politics, but we all brothers at the end of the day. And I ain't even just limited it to black people. I'm limited it to all of the men that is we in this together, bro. We in this together. We not hating on each other no more. Ain't no more dirty macking what you thought that it was limited. It's enough for everybody. Listen, it may be limited as far as certain positions in certain companies, but when it comes to these women, when it comes to this, bro, it's enough for everybody. You ain't got to hate on another man. You ain't got to throw another man under the bus. You ain't got to do none of that. You ain't got to dirty mac. You ain't got to do none of that. We got to stop hating on each other, bro. If somebody asks you for the game, or if somebody asks you, hey, man, can you put in a good word for me? Put in a good word for him, bro. If you had a disagreement with a guy and he did something negative to you, it's either one or two options going forward. Either just don't mess with him anymore, but you ain't got to talk negatively about him. But I'm talking about in real life. Either just let him go or forgive him. Because it ain't no money in hate. Ain't no money in hating another man. It ain't nothing that you're going to get that's good that's hating another man. We off that, bro. We are off the hate train. We off that negative energy. We off all of that fighting and bickering and fighting amongst ourselves. We got bigger fish to fry. We already won at life. We won a gender war. We survived our hood. We got the biggest opportunities of all time. And now all we got to do is leverage each other. I got something that you ain't got that don't hurt me to give it to you. You got something that I don't got that don't hurt me to give it to me. And so that's what we doing. We moving in solidarity and success. And that's how we win more. And it don't mean that we got to necessarily be in each other's faces, but we just got to recognize the real. You know what? I feel you, big dog. I see you, bro. I was at the bar the other day. It wasn't the bar. It was like the bar at a restaurant. I was at J. Alexander's. And I ran into a guy, and it wound up being like a special occasion for him or whatever. He had got some success. I said, dog, that is like, it didn't hurt me to compliment him and say, yo, bro, that's, man, I love that, bro. I love that, man. That's dope. Like, we don't even got to exchange information. We ain't got to necessarily be friends like that, but we not hating on each other. We not trying to compete against each other. We just winning. We can run and clash with each other in order to try to, you know what I'm saying, shut the shit down, or we can sit there, chill, and walk together and conquer every fucking thing. Everything. I want all of my dudes to win. I want my Slimmy to win. Slimmy will tell you, from the first day that I met Slimmy, it's always been, yo, fam, it's love, man. Let me know how it is that I can add value. Slimmy, you know why me and Slimmy is so cool? You know why me and Quentin is so cool? We was cool before we ever got online. We just figured out how to put this shit together because it ain't no reason for us not to be getting money online too. Me and Slimmy was just talking on some real shit, like just kicking it like, yo, fam, I got this vision. Slimmy was like, bro, what is you into? Like, I'm starting to hear your name pop off because he didn't even know that I had a movement online. And this was years ago, like a whole lot of years ago. And he just supported. He just showed love. He never asked me for nothing. He was just on some love shit. And then I'm like, yo, Slimmy, let's get this money together, bro. You know what I'm saying? We was kicking it in Cleveland. We was at the draft. We was in Cleveland. I said, man, that's Slimmy, man. My nigga Slimmy, what's going on, bro? We connected. We linked up. We've been homies ever since. Ain't never been no hate, no bad blood. When Slimmy see me in person, he be like, yo, fam, let me get you this. Let me get you this. Man, I got this thing, man. He hit me up still today. He be like, bro, I feel like I need to be adding more value and all of that shit. Niggas be hitting me up. Yeah, man. I don't know if this girl should be on your platform. Man, shut the fuck up, bro. We running. We running this shit up. Quentin been holding me down since the beginning. Ain't nothing y'all can tell me about these dudes that have ever let me tell me anything other than the fact that they some real ones. It's love. We got to start figuring out how to elevate each other. We got to stop throwing each other under the bus for some women. We got to stop selling each other out for money because it's way more money if we go and get it together. We gotta stand on that shit, bro. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people hating on each other. I'm tired of people always getting mad at another nigga because he got some motion. So stupid, bro. You getting mad at him don't get you any more hoes. It don't get you no more money. It don't get you no more motion. You already got the whole. It's at our feet, bro. It's right there at our fingertips. We own this shit. We run this. We run this. It's people in my city that I don't necessarily even care for. I don't necessarily care for. But you know what I won't do? I won't negatively impact them. I won't talk nasty about them. You've never heard me talk nasty about one person from my city. You know why? Because if we just not aligned, then that don't mean I gotta hate on that nigga just because he going to get his. We just see things two different ways. And maybe one day, because we don't talk negatively about each other, that we might come together and we might actually do some shit in the future. I'm not going to cut my blessing off from the person just because we not aligned. I'm not saying, I ain't got nothing to say about them. I'm not about to say nothing negative about them. I may not necessarily care, but he ain't doing nothing to hurt me, so I ain't got nothing negative to say about that dude. I just won't mention him. I won't say nothing. They got their motion, cool. Man, get your money, bro. I ain't got to say nothing negative about another man in order for me to win. Let me read some of these super chats. War isn't always bad, but what Trump is doing will prevent one. Well, we're going to find out, that's for sure. Tyron the Tyrant says, sounded like George Wallace with that pimp accent. That's what all of them whole pimp sounded like. Holla Dre says, these young whippersnappers don't know about Detroit. Jefferson and Belle Isle used to be off the hook women everywhere. Yep, straight to Jefferson, get on the Belle Isle, be stuck on that bitch for 6 hours. Silver Lion says, Anton, the question is, can would an Alpine pull out? Carrington Love Jr. says, I went back to look at your old videos since you didn't do a live yesterday and you came a long way as far as content, my boy. I found Lapeef TV. Shout out to you. I appreciate you, Carrington. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to grow. Shout out to the 40 plus OGs. I'm 33 and y'all got me looking forward to the future. It's beautiful, bro. I love my life. I love my life. Courtney Egger Show says, talk ADM on the same tip. Showcase Classic says, that's right, Anton. Brotherhood is untouchable. More Than Mellow says, just found out mom was in a car crash. I'm states away, so there's nothing I can do but pray for. Can you add her to yours? Her name is Mrs. Burrell or Mrs. Burrell. I'd appreciate it. Thank you to the chat. Lord, bless Mrs. Burrell and take care of her, Lord. Rebuke crashes, problems, troubles, issues, problems that could or would arise, any kind of complications. Bless her to be safe. Make her whole and rebuke any kind of negative impact that will come along with it, and bless everything to work out in her favor. In Jesus' name. Amen. All right, y'all. Y'all ready for after hours tonight? Y'all ready for after hours tonight? I don't know if Kerry is going to be there, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out. I'm going to promise y'all a great show, though. We always give y'all what y'all need in order to be great. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm live streaming tomorrow morning also, all right, on this channel. Makeup show from yesterday. I love y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.